There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
From your grave.
That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
Come on, kids.
What are we talking about, friend?
What are we talking about, friend?
I want to talk about Dr. Pepper.
I want to talk about Dr. Pepper. What are we talking about, friend?
Dr. Pepper, not a doctor at all. Get away from my wife.
You know what I realized last episode? Are we recording? You know what I realized last episode? Is that when Gilles de Rais would do his like performance before killing all the children, right? Like his macabre play that he would put on, you know, where you dance around and hang them up. It's not good, right?
Oh, no.
But I just realized upon finishing the Jared Fogle documentary.
You've been a real Fogelhead lately. This guy's a Fogelhead.
Honestly.
Wow.
You really savored it. I mean, I devoured that thing in a night just to get it over with.
Each one, every 5 minutes, me and Nat would just sit in silence, go.
I can almost hear Henry. I can hear Henry screaming at the TV. How is that a crime? How is that a crime? How is that a crime?
No, I understand. You want to savor every pound.
Every pound. But I realized,
like fat, Jared.
Yeah, we all did.
I know.
Because that was before the crimes.
Right.
But I realized him showing the pants. That was his Gilles de Rais fucking show. That was his show that got all the kids just being like, whoa, look at them pants. And you think about that, it was just big ass pants.
Big ass pants.
I'm watching this whole time. This is it. This is the whole spell. Gilles de Rais had a private army. Flagons of land.
Sure.
Just, you know,
Flagons.
8 castles.
How many miles are flagons?
It is.
Flagon is a cup.
A flagon is how long it takes a fat man to walk across a valley. I don't know the math, all right? I'm not in medieval math worlds, right? But that's the idea. You're getting all the kids all frothed up because they're looking how big them pants are. And they're like, man, that man used to fit in them pants.
I could play in them pants.
Yeah,
and then you end up playing in the pants.
Jared from Subway certainly got the kids all frothed up. Great assessment there. Welcome to the last podcast on the left, everyone. Ben hanging out with Henry and Marcus. Today we're on to part 3 and the final gosh darn part of Gilles de Rais.
Excellent. Take a look at these big old pants.
Wow, look at those pants.
So when we last left Gilles de Rais, his career as a mass child murderer was in full swing. And these murders had gone on completely, full swing, bro. Yeah.
It was only the 1400s, okay?
And these murders had gone on completely unfettered due to the enormous wealth and power he'd both inherited from Jean de Craon and what he'd earned during his time at Joan of Arc's side during the 100 Years' War.
Which is really why I have been siding with Gwyneth Paltrow's nemesis. That
you
she's
are
been
siding
fighting.
with, what is it, Sanderson?
Sanderson, the one
Terry Sanderson.
He's a horrible person.
But he said he needed to take down all of these celebrities on these ski slopes because if we don't check these celebrities, they go to their islands and start molesting children. And that's when I knew the truth got too much. And Gwyneth Paltrow had to shut it all the way down with her fixers, her snow-based fixers.
And just
Give
so everyone,
Gwyneth her dollar.
And just so everyone knows, that man, Henry is not joking. That man did go on to the stand and say that he had to put a stop to all of this pedophile island business.
Which is why he attacked her with his skis.
Well, and of course, that is not where Pedophile Island is. Pedophiles like warm weather.
They really do.
They do. They're a lazy bunch.
It's a Gabbana shirt crowd.
Yes, it is.
Now, the castles in which Gilles committed these crimes looked appropriately evil from the outside. Dracula-like fortresses made of gray stone, constantly surrounded by lightning flashes and thunderbolts. Wolves howling in the night.
Ah, the children of the night. What beautiful music they made. Ah, I am coming. I am coming.
Oink, oink. Oink, oink.
What? Why is there a pig there?
Oink, oink. Oh, yeah, you're doing all this by the pigs. Oink, oink.
It's just the man dressed as a pig.
Yeah.
But inside, Gilles de Rais had created a sort of Neverland by way of Citizen Kane.
Ooh.
Now, if you've ever seen the footage from inside Michael Jackson's Neverland, remember they took the cameras in there. It was shown in the Leaving Neverland documentary.
It was a very Martin Bashir, who was a very controversial figure. Let's be honest about that.
We can be. But if you've seen that, you know that his house was filled to the brim with these terrifying childish artifacts. He had all these gumball machines, all those animatronic clowns.
Yeah, you know, it's It's a temple to molestation.
It is.
Okay, well, hold on. Now, gumball machines are not indicative of molestation.
Well, it depends
Don't
on
malign a gumball machine.
20
You tell me.
20.
No,
One gumball
no,
machine in a rumpus room is fun.
That's fun.
20 is a systematic grooming mechanism.
What
Because
if
then
the
it's
person
everywhere you
loves
go. You've been
gumballs?
like, oh, don't worry. You want some gummy? Oh, you have a gummy bear. Have a little gummy bear. Subscribe. Oh, you got distracted. Mm-hmm.
Gumballs are still representative of innocent childhood memories.
Sure.
And let's not ruin that, shall we?
But the weird thing about the house, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but the fixtures and the wallpaper inside Michael Jackson's house, it was very suburban. It was
Yeah.
like old lady gross.
Well,
It
it
was
kind of
like-
makes you feel like, to be honest, like you're at a Nana's house.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
And Gilles de Rais' castles were much the same way, except he had decidedly more adult taste because he was, after all, he was trying to impress fellow nobles. He was not trying to seduce children.
Yeah, he didn't do any of the pants stuff for the kids.
Seduction.
Each room was hung with gold cloths that cost 80 coins each.
Whoa.
80 gold
Wow.
coins.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Whoa, we got to give a dragon 80 gold
Yeah,
coins.
this is like The Witcher
They gotta
3,
go,
yeah.
rescue a princess, and then next thing you know, you got curtains, I guess.
You don't give any gold coins to any to
I
any
haven't
dragons
played it.
in
I'm
As soon as
sorry.
you brought up
I'm
the
so
fucking
sorry.
Witcher
I
project,
should not brought
he
it up.
knows that's his
I'm
world.
so sorry.
No.
No, I'm playing
No.
Persona 5 Royal. It's
Yeah.
all in yen.
No, the villagers give me they give me gold
He has
coins.
a finite amount of breath.
Well, these rooms were all filled with fine furniture, paintings, statues, books, and precious manuscripts. And Gilles kept a near constant employment of jugglers, singers, and actors to keep him entertained.
Well, this is the issue, right? This is where we get to the Harvey Weinstein part of our story. Last week, obviously, we're segueing. We're going from a Fogel to a Weinstein. This
Okay,
is where
Fogel
we
to
see
Weinstein.
how, but this is to me the seeds that he's dropping that shows that he's guilty. This shows that what he is
Why?
creating.
Because he has jugglers around?
Yeah, it's just the 15th century equivalent of having a TV in every room.
You're going to see that it doesn't stop there, right?
I do like
Of
the idea of
course.
throwing a shoe at a juggler so it changes channel.
Yes, that would be fun.
Chainsaws.
Yes.
Do the chainsaw channel.
But it's the idea of surrounding yourself with an entertainment mechanism that makes you look far more fun and engaging and interesting than you should be. It's the
I
fact
don't
that
know.
you are offering, but you'll see as it
Okay.
escalates.
I'm going to need some evidence like the Gwyneth Paltrow trial.
I'll bring up an animation
Because I think
it
you're
costs $50,000 to make one of those.
I feel like Peacock is an actor. Hulu, that's a juggler. Netflix, that's going to be your, what was the other thing? Singer.
All of these are poor replacements for the juggler and the singer.
No, I know, but I'm just saying you have 3 different channels to work with.
Well, Gilles also kept an open house to nobles and commoners alike at whichever of his 24 residences where he happened to be residing, where anyone could partake of good food or wine. This was seemingly a Christian principle that he learned from his time with Joan of Arc, but it also helped with local morale. It was a bribe, basically.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But as we said again and again during episode 2, one of the few things that Joan of Arc and Gilles de Rais actually shared was a love of the theatrical. Although Gilles' theatrical impulses weren't confined to the battlefield like they were with Joan or to his later career in the theater.
Yes, now is when the show begins.
Yeah.
Almost. Before we get to the show, we have to get to the pedophile church.
Yay!
Oh, no, I don't want that.
Now, this is to me the ultimate example of why he is guilty.
Well, to perhaps give himself a bit more of a Joan of Arc sheen, Gilles de Rais founded his own extraordinarily swanky church. It was, however, also a cover, another funnel for innocent victims. So Gilles cheekily named it the Chapel of the Holy Innocents.
I don't like it.
To place this in time, remember that they fought all the wars. Technically, Gilles de Rais should be a hero amongst his countrymen. Joan of Arc, though, we know, is currently being buried. They don't she was executed
They don't like
out
her.
at the trail. They wanted to keep a fucking tight lid on this Joan of Arc story because they're trying to basically separate themselves from this mythos. It's the idea that we owe things to this heavenly woman that may or may not be an agent of God, blah, blah, blah. But Gilles de Rais at that time probably should have been viewed as somebody who fucking you want to be around. But we now know that he has been utterly kind of kicked out all these spaces. They kind of give him a perfunctory little position on some board somewhere, but mostly he's just kind of like being kept away from these important stories. But the thing is he starts this Church of the Innocents. Everybody knows that he's this weird dude who's spending, like, he's already starting to hemorrhage money. But
Right.
it's not his. It's like, it's his family's money, which is kind of a complicated thing at the time period.
It's complicated.
Yeah, because it's all like,
It's his, but it's not his.
it's like you're a chunk of a country. And so you spending money like
Sure.
on stupid shit is emptying the coffers of a gigantic like system, metropolitan system. And so he's already doing it. When he starts his church,
Honestly, I would say the system is more agrarian.
Agrarian.
And that means when you tie your shoes professionally.
That's equestrian.
Very good. We're great here. But then he started the Church of the Holy Innocents, and he wanted it to be an official church. But the thing is, the Vatican does not lightly give that, because mostly you need a priest to do that. You need somebody who's actually connected someone to the church infrastructure. He had none of that. And he started this Church of the Holy Innocents, and everyone's like, why are you doing this? Why are you making this? And it was freaking people out.
Okay.
And this is the reason why.
Well, with this chapel, Gilles would both recruit beautiful young boys, as was his wont, and he would also simultaneously satisfy his love of ecclesiastical music. Specifically, Gilles loved the hot pipes of yore, to the extent where he had a portable organ made, which took only 6 people to carry.
That's not bad. Portable.
This is Marcus's dream.
Yeah,
That's great.
I would love to have someone who carried, like, 6 guys who carried an organ. Where, like, if I could have an organ on tour and then a man who could just play organ for me
At all times.
You want that?
Yeah.
This is your life?
all the
That'll
time.
be fun. It would make him happy. Let him
just
have,
would.
let him have a big organ.
I want one pair of innocent big pants.
Oh, you have a bunch.
Al Roker's mean.
Oh, what?
oh.
Yep.
You did have pairs of innocent big pants, but you burned all of them.
Torched them.
You torched your big pants?
burned for days.
I'm sure they did.
Well, out of the 30 people who ran the Chapel of the Holy Innocents, most had been collected by Gilles during his travels, and many had been recruited because of their combined abilities of keeping their mouth shut and their willingness to do anything for money.
This is a group of criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each one was dressed in the finest clothing, trailing robes of scarlet lined with squirrel fur,
Ooh, who's
which
that?
at the time
Ooh.
was quite fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
is that Kevin Spacey?
Wow, that's incredible. Ooh, wow, are you wearing possum today?
Yeah. How do you know? What? Playing dead.
I think at the time, squirrels were not quite the rats of the park that they are now.
Oh, they're not rats now.
But
You're
squirrels?
anti-squirrel.
I'm not
You've been
anti-squirrel.
anti-squirrel since day one. Anti-pigeon, anti-squirrel.
I'm sorry,
I-
Marcus. I know you're honestly. I know that you, again, precious breaths today.
I'm not.
Precious breath.
And you're attacking
Squirrels
him.
are adorable. Squirrels are not rats.
Squirrels are adorable, but squirrels are also very aggressive when you're in the park.
Squirrels are the baseball players of the small animal world where they get a lot of ass and they're always on the road.
They really do. They really do.
I mean, I love it when I see a squirrel in my backyard, but I
There
do
you go.
remember the Central Park squirrels could be quite aggressive.
Oh, yeah. They'll nibble at you. They'll
Mhm.
fuck your wife.
Oh,
Yeah, especially during COVID. Jesus,
No.
those squirrels are mean.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe
nature
it's an
took over.
indictment on your weakness because they're squirrels and you're a man.
A squirrel can really destabilize them.
Well, additionally, the services were held in the most opulent church then in existence, which is saying quite a bit when we're
Yeah.
talking about the Catholic Church
Yeah.
in the 15th century.
Yeah, wasn't this like kind of almost peak Catholic?
Oh,
When
this
they were running the damn world, right?
Powerful times in the Catholic Church.
And this is peak waste
Well,
for the Catholic Church as
This,
well.
this is, to me, this is like the equivalent if I, like in modern America, if I went and like opened up my own rogue McDonald's, like, and I just like, and it did all the same signage.
McDowell's.
Yeah, like McDowell's. Like if I opened my own
McDowell's.
McDowell's, but then like the main function of my McDonald's was to funnel children for me to have sex with.
Right.
Like it would be like that, where like the church is like, what? Hey, listen. We don't care if you're fucking these kids.
They really didn't.
Right? Because we all
They
love
didn't,
it.
huh?
But hey, you didn't get a permit for this
About
kid fucking
licensing.
shack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That
that's,
was-
that's not good.
That really was the whole thing. Nobody cared that he was killing children. What they
Nobody.
cared about was that he hadn't consulted Catholic authorities. And the Pope was double pissed because Gilles had appointed himself as bishop.
It's really
Well-
weird. And the thing is, so it's really weird at the time period. That's like the key here is that it's one of those where everyone's just like, hey, bro, hey. You know, like with Michael Jackson, they're like, we thought you'd be putting out like an electronica album. Why are you outfitting this teddy bear room?
Well, what did he do? Get himself a big hat? How do you make yourself bishop?
You just go, I'm bishop.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you gotta do.
I trust him just as much as Bishop Dolan. That motherfucker is always at the Met Gala. He's covered in gold chains.
I think
leave Timothy alone.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
He's demonic.
Yeah, you call yourself a bishop. I think you're legally allowed to call yourself a bishop if you say amen when you come on the back of a child.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
Henry
fine, right?
Zabrowski.
We can use that. That's fine.
No, that is bad.
What are you gonna do?
Bad.
And with that, Gilles moved himself from the realm of nuisance to real problem. And he made the first enemy that actually had the power to help bring him down, the church.
Ooh, big enemy to have.
Mhm.
Oh, yes. And it's more like, why? You know, why do this, Doll? Why are you
the
doing it?
word hubris
Yes.
applies quite a bit.
Hubris.
But of course, Gilles de Rais wasn't satisfied with the pageantry of the Catholic Church to satisfy his theatrical needs. Gilles was about to enter the world of entertainment, using his relationship with Joan of Arc as the bridge.
Let me entertain you.
No,
Let me make you smile.
It's okay, honey. He's an actor. You can trust him.
Yeah, you're coming on my wet knees.
Oh, God.
It's just because it's flop sweat.
Yeah.
But like any celebrity worth their salt, Gilles actually forced one of his servants to act as his body double.
Yes, that's my dream.
Oh,
that's my
intriguing.
the only
You
thing
want to
I
be a
appreciate.
body double or have a body
It's
double?
cool to have a body double that
Yeah.
goes out and does shit.
Yeah.
Discarding the servant's old name, whatever it may have been, Gilles began calling his double Ray Le Ariot.
What does that mean?
It's just kind of, you just call him like, I think it
Little
might
Ray.
mean Little Ray. Yeah, it means Little Ray. I don't
Little
know.
Ray?
I have no idea what it means.
That's my
wouldn't it be-
boy, Little Ray.
What do
That's
you
my
call-
Little Ray.
Jill
That's
2.
Tiny Ray.
Jill 2.
That was before they understood the power of the sequel.
Wow.
But then all of a sudden, once you get to Quantum Mania, it starts to burn out.
I agree with that.
And he dressed him in appropriately splendid clothing when de Rais needed a substitute. This gave Gilles a fun game to play, because when Ray Le Ariot played Gilles in public, Gilles could be both actor and spectator.
Ooh, do you remember Michael Jackson's halftime show where there was 3 Michael Jacksons? It was one of the best halftime shows of all time. He shows up on the Megatrons. He comes out of nowhere, out of the
Actually,
smoke.
weirdly, sent a chill up my spine because it's actually very similar.
Yeah.
That's like,
Interesting?
yeah, it's a-
but that halftime show was amazing.
Wow.
Say what you want.
That's very,
But
yeah.
that halftime show was good.
He kept trying to blame the man in the mirror, but it was the man in the bedroom.
Leave him
But
alone.
it's really scary because in my mind, I'm seeing like a psychological, like this is like talented Mr. Ripley shit, where it's like he's gone so far into his world of his own fucking fantasies. He's a bishop. He's a leader of an army. He's a multi-millionaire. And now he's a producer. And just the idea of sitting back and like puffing on something and watching yourself perform as yourself, like do weird
That's
public
cool.
things. It's cool, but it feels like a David Cronenberg movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. And I would be like, whoa, shouldn't have done that up there, other me. Yikes.
You
other-
suck.
Hey, other me, you're really fucking blowing it.
But even though most of his life was fun, games, and child murder at this point, every once in a while, Gilles would have to attend to his military duties as Marshal of France, which had sort of lost its luster since he discovered that his real taste for blood could only be satisfied by a younger vintage.
Oh, Lord.
See, when yeah, I gotta have a crypt keeper moment every once in a while.
No, yeah. Only every once in a while, Marcus. In no way is it constantly your life. No, every now and again, I got to be a little weird. Okay, Marcus. Yeah, you can be a little weird once in a while.
See, when Gilles was asked
We
by
had to do with a fucking mandate on the stream without him. And it was Marcus's videos. We just had to live in your brain for an hour.
Crawling around in that soup for a while.
God, just a woman covered in honey for some reason.
That's fine, though. You wait till you see
It was
mine.
good.
it was amazing. Then that was like you're lucky I didn't show the one where she covered herself in Nutella.
Honestly, I would have seen
Oh,
it.
that would have been amazing.
See, when Gilles was asked by his cousin, Georges de la Trumois, to help with a siege by the Burgundian armies, Gilles, for the first time, simply told Georges de la Trumois that he didn't have the liquid assets on hand to raise an army.
Meanwhile-
Usually, Gilles up and at him.
Oh, of
Okay.
course, because that was his favorite thing on the face of the planet was to go to war.
Not anymore.
But now he's got hot pipes. He's organizing. He's got a fucking.
I mean-
not to be anything. Grooming kids takes time.
He's not really grooming anything.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that's
the
not.
thing.
But he's
Yeah.
also doing other things. Basically, he's happy.
Yeah,
And I
he
feel
is.
like that doesn't
Look,
make.
I mean, objectively,
He is happy. And
Objectively.
that does not make for the best general or warrior. You have to be kind of miserable.
A little bit. You have to be somewhat unsatisfied.
He's too satisfied.
He's too happy.
Yeah.
He's got
it's
everything. He's
very
got a
much an
juggler,
issue.
an actor, a comedian at his whim.
Well, finally, like Georges de la Trumois, he said, fuck it. Like, I'll pay for it. Just send your men. I'll pay your men.
Wow.
But Gilles, he took the money and he sent his brother Rene in his place. Because, I mean, this guy did want Gilles because Gilles was a brilliant military commander. But Gilles just went home. Then the Burgundians wiped the floor with his brother Rene because Rene was a shitty commander. He wasn't anywhere near as good as Gilles.
So they killed him.
He wasn't killed. It's just
Okay.
he lost a lot of men. He lost.
They bonked him on the head and were like, "You're
Yes.
a loser."
Get out of
Yes.
here. Yeah.
They do the thing
So
in
everyone
Crusader
else-
Kings 3 where the two groups go and they attack each other and the numbers go slowly down.
Man, it's almost like you were in Vietnam.
I feel it every day, man.
Wow.
But to Gilles de Rais, none of this mattered at all.
Weird.
See, by this point, military life had become boring, and noble life had become double boring.
Okay.
All Gilles wanted to do was murder children, run his fake church, and of course, produce incredibly lavish theatrical plays whose cost would have dwarfed even the largest of modern Hollywood budgets.
Except for Avatar 2.
Yeah,
I would put it on par with Avatar 2. I really
people
would.
like that movie.
It's
I haven't
like-
watched.
Sure.
I haven't watched the Avatar.
Never
it's
watched any of
definitely
them.
a great way to pass time in hospice.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what I plan on doing. Watching all these things when I'm dying.
Yeah.
That'll be great. If he just didn't murder the kids, everything else is fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, you
sure.
know, the fake church.
Oh, yeah, everything
how many
else.
Russell Brand right now, if he could start
Yes.
a church, would, and it would be
Well-
full of some of the dumbest attractive people that's ever lived.
It is just going past eccentric. Because that's the thing. They
Right.
had like, they understood for a while. Like the idea of him opening his house and having a never ending store of food and entertainment and booze. Like they're like, Shield's crazy. He's crazy. But then like, after a while, like when he built this church that they're all like, again, like just straight up like, you know, you're ruining it for all the rest of us and truly institutionally given in pedophiles, right? Like this thing that you're doing is like blowing this up to a level that none of us want. Like this is really gross. And this is for 1400s, like their
Catholic
version of
Church
like,
in
this
the
is really
1400s.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be pretty gross
Yes.
to make them think you're doing something gross.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think a part of the Gilles de Rais' innocent crowd, I think part of the reason why they want him to be innocent, because if he's not a child murderer, then he's a fantastic historical character.
Oh, he's like, hilarious.
Like he's a hilarious, eccentric. He's Joan of Arc's like fun best friend. Like, oh, Joan, let's go party.
I mean, is
You know?
anyone getting like a divorce over this? Like, do people be like, no, I'm a Gilles head. And like, I mean, are people like ending relationships?
There are
Absolutely.
people
Who
that
gives a fuck?
No, there are people that have dedicated their entire lives to this very subject.
And
Yeah.
then they wake up one day and they realize they're 90 years old. And what have they done with their fucking life? Absolutely nothing.
You don't know. Who knows?
I personally, I have respect for those people, but we'll get to that later on. I have respect for someone
I do
who
too.
I
devotes
love
their
his
life
stories.
to history and knowledge.
I have literally
Yes, but
'cause
not
you know what I love?
just this.
Because you know what I love? Well, the reason why we get into our historical topics, you know what I love? It's that it's all about perspectives.
It is.
No, it's because you can
It's
say
about
more
different-
offensive things because it happened 500 years ago.
It's a bonus. It's a picker.
Rise from your grave.
Now, Gilles' medium of theatrical expression was the mystery play. Mystery, but it's not what you think. It's not fun mystery. No, mystery plays.
Who did it?
No.
Oh, you know what I like to do is be like, you did it, like right when it starts.
Right
like,
when it
you
starts.
did it. And I ruin it for everybody.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh. No, back then the word mystery and miracle were more or less interchangeable.
Oh,
so
makes
these
sense, I
were
guess.
stories taken from the Bible. They were
Okay.
stories they were also taken from secular history, just so long as that history involved a miracle from God.
Yeah, because that was like the zhuzh. That's
Yeah.
what you get. That's what butts and seats.
I mean, it's a lot of great stories, so
Yeah.
work well on the stage, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, grandiose spectacles with enormous stages full of color and great movement. Mystery plays had scripts that reached beyond 500 pages, and and they often took a week to perform. These were the summer blockbusters of the 15th century. Specifically, these
cool.
were like the Avengers movies. They're like 3.5 hours long and pretty cool.
And people
you
would
like them.
arrive for
and
days,
everyone comes.
and they would play for days.
Specifically, it's like WrestleMania that I'm going to this weekend.
Ooh, cool.
Saturday and Sunday.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's a whole event. And on tonight, Friday, there's an event, but I'm not going to go.
Yeah. If we want to be classy about it, it's sort of like Wagner's Ring Cycle,
This is
which takes like 3
WrestleMania.
days.
WrestleMania, it's the performance in front of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was
You don't think
technically.
WrestleMania is classy?
Let's just
You
move
don't
on.
think
Let's just move on.
WrestleMania is classy?
This is the man. He would.
Muhammad Ali performed at WrestleMania.
Performed?
Cyndi Lauper. Yeah, he shook,
Uh-huh.
which is a performance. Cyndi Lauper.
Uh-huh. Was at a WrestleMania.
She performed at WrestleMania.
I remember Lou Albano was there.
He was also at one.
Yeah.
I remember Undertaker.
Mike Tyson.
Let me ask you this. Was Val Venus ever at a WrestleMania? Did
Dale
he ever
Venus
do
is now
his...
paralyzed, okay? Can you please?
Was The Godfather? Was Pimpin' Ain't Easy? Were the words
actually
Pimpin'
runs
Ain't
us through-
Easy said at a WrestleMania?
Oh my God, I didn't know I was dealing with such a fucking elitist.
Yeah, he's only got a few
Wow.
precious breaths left.
Oh my
It's
God,
like,
what's that new Hillary Rodham Clinton tattoo you have?
Yes, yeah. I was going to say,
Unbelievable.
when he came in with his pussy hat on, I was like, that's fine. I mean, like, he
That's
can be
fine.
like that.
It's
He's got
fine.
Maddow head tattooed on his lower back.
I did, and I got it all done this week.
Yes.
I've changed. This is what's changed.
Great. WrestleMania is a classic event for the record.
Anything ending in mania is always an extremely
All right,
classic.
let's move on.
Well, at the time, the most famous mystery plays had been The Mystery of Adam, about the creation of the universe, and The Mystery of the Passion, which is, of course, about Jesus' crucifixion.
Hey,
All
those are the
all
big ones.
passions. It's a big thing.
Yes,
Man,
'cause-
the Stations of the Cross, if you want just a good cerebral horror movie, just the Stations of the Cross
Man,
is the best.
Passion of the Christ.
Passion
It's
of
a
the Christ.
fantastic
I did see it.
horror movie.
I mean, these mystery plays, Mystery of Adam, Mystery of the Passion, it's like Jaws and Star Wars.
Yeah, it's the best.
But Gilles' grand theatrical production, of which he oversaw every aspect from the costumes to the sets, was Les Mystères du Siège d'Orléans.
Perfect.
The Mr. Who Shits.
Mr. Who Shits. And it's that man right over there.
I did it.
It translates the mystery of the siege of Orleans.
Now,
Oh,
He wrote a
okay.
whole play about him and Joan of Arc
Joan.
taking Orleans.
but if you
Interesting.
look into, I found a really cool doctorate thesis on the origins of the mystery of the Siege of Orleans, right? And what they say is very, very interesting is that they're like, well, of all the other mysteries, there's documentation about who wrote it because they're so huge. And they also get added to over like 100 years.
Yeah.
And this is when he was producing this play, this is during a time period when Joan of Arc was, as we said before, they were trying to be like, shh, let's not.
Yeah, she sucked. She was a witch. We burned her.
We're just more
Well,
like,
not necessarily. This was the side that was pro Joan of Arc, but they
Okay.
just wanted her to go away.
they just didn't want it. Like,
Cool
why we
off.
make it such a
Cool
big
off.
deal over
Gotcha.
this? I mean, we got a king. We don't need a child prophet in the mix here.
well,
It's
right.
fucking with us, right?
Focus on the king. Don't focus on Joan of Arc. The king, he's the one with divine
he's doing
connections.
it. Yeah, he's doing it. And so,
What about her laptop?
we do need to look at
folks,
Joan of Arc's
what about Joan of
laptop.
Arc's- What about her laptop from hell, folks?
That's the truth. We're not hearing.
Yeah, it is.
But so he was putting this out there during a time period where everyone's been like, okay, this is weird, right? But they were like looking into the origins of where this play came from. They have a really hard time. They're like, well, we have like one version of it, but the one thing that really stood out was that Gilles de Rais was kind of cut out
Yeah.
of any sort. There's receipts that show that he paid for shit.
Yeah.
But all of these people at the time kind of like struck his name from the record. They were all just like, he was just some reason not really included in this time period, especially because they know that in the 10 years after the Battle of Orleans, that started to become a little like a semi-unofficial holiday that people would kind of do. And this play started showing up and Gilles de Rais attached to it. And it was just this weird thing where everyone kind of like pushed him on the road. He got Kevin Spacey'd, is what I'm trying to say. Is that so this is my theory, is that they
It's
all
like the
knew
season 5 of House of Cards.
Yes, they knew he was so gross.
That was weird.
But the idea is that they knew that he was so gross that they were already trying to erase him from history at the time period.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want him involved. Because again, it was also this like weird touchy thing because the mystery of the Siege of Orleans didn't become official until after she was exonerated in like in the 1450s.
Well, this play, it naturally featured Joan of Arc in the lead, but playing the supporting role was a highly fictionalized version of Gilles de Rais, who appeared as a faithful and devoted servant to Joan of Arc and her godly motivations.
Oh.
Now, since mystery plays were so incredibly expensive by their very nature, the investment costs were usually covered by city governments, clergy, or wealthy private citizens like Gilles de Rais.
Yeah.
That is the upfront cost. That's the investment. That's your foreign investors. And like today's productions, these costs were usually offset by the price of admission. It's more about breaking even than it is about turning profit.
It's about
Because
theater.
yes, it is about theater's sake, and it's about you, and it's promoting your name.
Yeah. Admission, however, was charged on a sliding scale. For the poor, it cost 1 franc to be a groundling.
Not bad. I got a couple of francs in my closet right now. Pull them out. Have them tell a couple of jokes. I'll walk right in.
Are those your dead sex slave zombies, like your Chef Dahmer?
You've
or-
got Frank Caliendo in your closet?
Oh my God!
Whoa.
No, I'm John Madden.
Whoa, he's
I'm John
everybody!
Madden. I'm Bill Clinton.
Wow.
Isn't that good?
That is
No,
good.
I was thinking Frank from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, sure,
Isn't he
that's
fun?
yeah, that's much more fun
Isn't
than
he
Frank
fun?
Caliendo.
Yeah, Frank Cali. I'm John Madden. He's very talented.
Yes.
Yes. But with Gilles de Rais, who seemed intent on showing off in every aspect in the production of his own mystery play, he paid for everything and charged nothing for
Oh.
admission. In addition, he gave everyone access to a full buffet of venison, succulent fish,
Yes.
mead, and wine for every single performance for 5 months.
And everyone's just like, okay, cool, free
Yeah.
meals, you're going to do this. And then Gilles de Rais said behind me, like, it's just about performance. It's about
It's
what
just
it's
about
kind of about what we're trying to do.
It's about community.
It's about community.
It is.
You know
It
what I mean?
is.
Movies are a community that I come around.
I feel like it was a better time to be poor back then. You know, you got all this free food.
No,
meat.
no.
No,
Maybe it was
no.
a better week to be poor.
Yeah, there you go.
That one day might have been nice.
That's kind of fun.
It's still all hot, old, succulent fish.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, it's still
yes,
hanging
but-
out outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
but venison. I mean, that's a real good cut. That's a good meat.
It's
Yeah.
a good meat, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
If
no.
you hit a deer in Wisconsin, you can eat it.
Yeah.
You can.
But unless
nice.
you pop its fucking shit bag inside of it,
No,
then
you
you
have to do a
contaminate
whole-
all the meat.
Yeah, you have to do. Oh, well, that's true. Okay.
Mhm. Now, in order to raise the cash to pay for all this, Gilles maxed out his credit using his land, castles, art, furniture, and books as collateral. Gilles also paid 2 to 3 times the actual price for everything he bought, although it's not clear if he paid high prices as a show of wealth, through impatience, or because he just had no idea how much anything cost.
Yeah, I think it was what was it the mom
What-
from Arrested
What's
Development?
a banana cost?
Yeah.
$10?
Yeah.
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 Well, as far as the actual cost of production went, Gilles paid 140 actors with speaking parts, while 500 to 600 people were paid as extras every single
Damn,
performance.
that's a lot of people. How big was this stage?
Is
Huge.
massive.
It's huge. Because they
Massive.
said they had to build it regularly to like look like they would make it, you know, in the Mystery of the Passion, you'd have like Christ there and they'd put all the angels and all the people, and you have a guy playing God, and you got like, you know, a bunch of people sucking on his feet, washing his
Right.
feet for
Oh,
some reason. They're all
washing
obsessed with washing his
It's
feet.
metaphorical, I think.
Well, it was big enough where they were actually able to show convincingly show movement of armies.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's
from like
awesome.
one
It's
scene
awesome.
to another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have seen one of these. Like, it sounds
Wow.
incredible.
It's kind of like what they do at the opera.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, every single person, every single actor had to be dressed in the most authentic costumes possible, and everything had to be made from the finest cloth, even if the costume was torn into rags
Yes.
to represent someone who was to represent a peasant.
He would do like what Balenciaga does,
Balenciaga?
where you take like a thing, you look like a homeless person, but the whole outfit costs like $15,000.
They're
Yeah.
controversial.
They are.
Balenciaga.
And honestly, why
Balenciaga.
it's actually why it's appropriate, because Gilles de Rais is the Balenciaga of this entire story.
All right.
But perhaps what was most incredible about these costumes was the fact that Gilles made a rule where every actor only wore their costume once.
Whoa, then what happened to it?
They would throw it away and make a new one for every single performance.
That's wasted a lot of money.
700 new costumes for every single performance.
Wow.
Now, after months of preparation, Gilles made his debut on May 8th, 1435, just 4 years after the death of Joan of Arc, when her rise as a hero of the French and her fall as a supposed heretic was still a fresh memory. In fact, one could say that Gilles de Rais was the first person that recognized Joan of Arc as a martyr.
Oh, he definitely put it on the map.
Mhm.
Wow. Did you know in the NFL players have to buy their jerseys?
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
What do you mean?
But
And
they
also, the president, if he goes to the kitchen or she goes to the kitchen, they got to pay for it.
What?
They have to pay for the sandwiches.
What are you even talking
was
about?
like they have to pay for the
They
sandwich.
have to
What
pay
are
for
you-
this.
what?
I'm talking
Where
about
does
how
this
crazy
come
this is. I'm talking about how he was the 700 wardrobe changes that they had every single show.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
he had to pay for it.
I'm
it was
just
his
saying,
production.
He was-
the
yeah, he
NFL
was the
doesn't
producer.
even do that. And if you're the leader of the free world, you also have to pay for your
Yeah,
sandwiches.
you got to pay for everything on some aspect.
Yeah, in the kitchen.
Where did you hear that this president has to pay for sandwiches?
That's a fact. That was from the White House chef.
You're talking about the only man who ever did that was probably Jimmy Carter.
No, that was the
He's
White
been a-
House chef who worked for Bill Clinton.
I'm just a simple peanut farmer.
That's Bob Dylan. That's even close to Jimmy
I
Carter.
put a little bit out of a little bit. I
It's more,
tip jar out.
it's more Randy Newman.
Easy.
Not a president.
President Jimmy Carter.
You're about to do Welcome Back, Carter.
Don't worry. I
You're-
put an IOU in the jar. That's just nice as they're giving me.
Oh, my God.
Well, the reviews for the Siege of Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic.
All right.
Oh, yeah, man. It was a big
hit.
play.
It was an absolute hit. As far as the story went, Joan of Arc was portrayed as a saint of the highest order, while Gilles was portrayed in a fully glamorized version of himself as her faithful servant, because that's how he wanted the public to see him.
It is interesting. He made himself kind of the second fiddle.
Well, he was only one little character in one chunk of
That's
it because it was because he wanted to watch himself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
wa-
but he didn't
would
make
sit-
himself the most grandiose.
But he would be sitting on like an elevated chair amongst the audience, like watching his own play, just going like, ha ha ha.
Well, but that's
like how we watch
but-
old YouTube clips on ourselves on our television and go, "You're the best comedian I've ever seen."
I don't know about that. I don't. We have different nights.
Well, for him, it wasn't about being glorified on stage. For him, it was about showing the decadence that he could put on this play. In fact, it was a bit more of a plus for him to not be portrayed as one of the main characters because it's like, oh, look at this. I can put on this entire play. It is not about me. It's about Jean. I just want to make sure that everybody sees how good Jean is.
No, I think there's something to that because
Harvey
when,
Weinstein.
I just want people to know that just Gwyneth Paltrow has got the nice. She's just got a nice couples. Right?
I don't think that
and
is
we
what
got
he,
to
that's
slam
not
him
even
out
what
there.
he
We got the
sounds like.
sensitive guy with his little mustache, and he's going, Romeo and Juliet. But then she's got the badungas coming out. Now that's a movie right
don't.
there.
It's
That's
really
a
not.
fucking movie.
That's ruining the movie. It was more like when we watched Page 7 and Wizbrew perform in Brooklyn, and we didn't have to do anything, and we ate all the cheese in the green room.
Yeah, that's how we're like Gilles de Rais. Great.
There you go, because we're like, this is even better than performing. Remember?
And we did have to pay for the food that we ate.
Yeah.
Because
We
that's
always
what
do.
a writer is.
We always
See,
do.
that makes sense.
It took me.
It all makes sense.
It took me years to make the two of you understand that shit
No.
that we get in the writer, we have to pay
It
for
took
that.
1 year.
It
Marcus, we knew that.
I don't think you did.
At first I didn't, but then I immediately knew.
I knew it.
Well, let's hear an example of some lines that
Oh.
Gilles' character said in the play.
Okay.
This is him pledging his service to Joan.
Lady, have no
No.
doubt of me.
No, don't.
What
It's not
is
Ray
this?
Liotta.
Yeah,
No,
what
dude,
are
it's
these
now-
accents
it's Harvey
today?
Weinstein.
No,
Can
it's
we
not.
not
This is
do
me and
Harvey
Harvey
Weinstein?
Weinstein.
I don't want to
give
be
it-
Harvey Weinstein.
Give it more. Yeah, I don't want to do a Harvey Weinstein. Give it more of give it a French romantic. Give it a Gerard. If you want it.
Why are you going
if you want-
Italian?
Lady.
Oh my!
Oh,
Just
yeah,
let
I
him
can
do
do- I
whatever
can
he
do
wants. Let him
Gerard
do it. No,
Depardieu. I can do
you-
Gerard-
no,
I
you
can do
If
Gerard
you
Depardieu.
must do a horrible man, then do Gerard Depardieu.
Oh, lady, I have no doubt of me. I wish but to do your will. My friends and underlings, no lady.
Just do it the way you were doing
I
it.
shall come, and we shall do your will in everything.
Okay.
Oh, I've got to pee.
Yeah,
I've got to pee.
in a lap. Wow.
Well, later on in the play, when the other commanders are questioning the wisdom of Joan's tactics, Gilles is shown as her greatest defender, basically showing everyone that if it weren't for Gilles, there would be no Joan, which is actually true.
We should refuse her nothing and have no doubt of victory since she is at the head. You're like, great, Gilles. Great stuff, Gilles.
And so, with this scintillating dialogue, Les Mystères du Siège d'Orléans ran daily for 5 months. Every day for 5 months.
Like Billy Joel at MSG.
Dude, that's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. Glorifying both Joan and Gilles while conveniently leaving out that Gilles stayed silent and did nothing during the 6 months of the trial that was sure to lead to Joan's execution.
Probably actually helped her get caught.
Yep.
Yeah.
But while Gilles was producing Les Mystères des Sièges d'Orléans, I get better every time I say it.
You do.
And during its entire 5-month run, it's important to remember that he was also still luring children into castles and murdering them slowly and horrifically. That never stopped. In other words, Gilles de Rais' place in the French theatrical world is exactly what QAnon followers believe modern Hollywood to be, a cesspool of pedophilic child murderers ultimately run by the so-called elite.
I mean,
That's
the thing. It's like the seed, but then they grow into a dumb tree.
It's a dumb tree that grows out of one seed.
We do know that there are pedophiles in Hollywood. We absolutely know that. We know that there are sexual predators in Hollywood. We absolutely know that. But ritualistic child murder on the part of Tom Hanks and Oprah might be a bridge too far.
Just because their schedules are so packed.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get them together in one place.
Yeah.
Imagine getting Oprah, Tom Hanks, and Bill Clinton in one room. That takes 6 months to orchestrate.
I think they're all the same person.
Yeah. But while the similarities are interesting, Gilles was more of a QAnon unto himself. But there was also never any supposed hero working behind the scenes to bring him to justice.
No, as a matter of fact, everybody
there was no storm coming.
No, and everybody that was around him was somebody who he slowly but surely either positioned to be close to him because they were cool with it, or they owed him a bunch of money. Like they were just kind of, or just straight up evil.
Yeah, or they had a stake in Gilles de Rais staying in power.
Yes.
I mean, in reality, nobody around Gilles de Rais gave a fuck about anything he was doing, just so long as it didn't mess with anyone else's power and privilege. And really, there wasn't much of a point to Gilles de Rais' excesses, decadent and depraved, just for the point of being decadent and depraved. Besides, Gilles never worried about the expenditures during the production of his mystery play because he believed that all of his money troubles would soon be solved by black magic and alchemy.
Oh, sweet.
Honestly, he's not wrong.
I mean, okay.
I mean, it turned out to be.
Yeah. Now, Gilles de Rais' dabblings in the magical world actually began north of the satanic realm.
Jersey.
Oh, very nice.
When it came to mysticism, Gilles was introduced to magic by Joan of Arc, who had seemingly used divine powers to defeat the English, even if those same powers didn't translate to battles against the Burgundians.
Hey, man, even we know God ain't at 100%.
Yeah.
No, and not the Burgundians are always going to be in God's favor.
Well, that's also, though, that's part of the magic of it, is that it was said that just so long as Joan paid fealty to God and listened to the voices, then she was always won. She always had somebody to save her. But the moment she started going off on her own and not listening to the voices, then that's when she was captured and killed.
Because that was the problem. You're looking at all these voices, and the only thing you want to say to you is like, hey, Jean, show me the titties. And you're like, hey, I got a job here.
You got a job to do, Joan.
But while Gilles was seemingly seeing God's intervention in the real world, which showed him that the supernatural was indeed real, he encountered a knight in possession of a grimoire.
Wow.
Now, the book certainly contained information about summoning demons, but to Gilles, the most important entries had to do with the practice of alchemy.
Now, remember, this is fucking real practical for Gilles.
Oh, this is all...
Sure.
Magic is a practical thing for these people.
It reminds
gonna work
me,
out great.
Like, it's interesting because it's like I was trying to figure out the proper like connection to modern times.
Yeah, I couldn't quite figure it out either. It's like it's something that like it's frowned upon. It's I don't know, like short selling stock.
It's something like
it's
that.
like
Well, it's
people
when,
who do the crossing over stuff.
or it's that. It's also people that like political candidates that like obviously are probably child molesters that also like join the evangelical groups to kind of like get their
Could be.
support. There's something about like him joining forces with straight up con people that he's like that will like it's another part of his like mania.
Yeah. Well, let's get briefly into alchemy. Well, for those of you who don't know, alchemy was a sort of Middle Ages frontrunner of chemistry that also combined occultism, philosophy, magic, and astrology.
It's a lifestyle, baby.
Yeah. Now, alchemy certainly had other uses, but its most famous application was the transmuting of baser substances like lead into pure gold.
Nice.
There is a constant debate about whether or not that was about is that an allegorical meaning or but then a lot of them say, well, the thing is, yes, it's allegorical, but
Only because
also
it didn't fucking work.
yes,
They They tried.
Yes.
I mean, as we're
No, that was allegorical. That was metaphorical.
about symbolism.
Yes, right.
It's I know I drink too much to have sex with you, but it's all just about the fact that it's about symbolism.
Dude, our Catholic priest, Father Steve, used to talk all the time about how he saw the bread turn into body and flesh. I swear.
Of course.
But I don't think that's true.
No,
I think
it's not.
I think they bought a ribeye and threw it underneath the crackers.
We just covered the fucking story of the woman who lost the toes, who's got shot by her husband, and then they made the toes grow back, and then they're not
No
showing us
evidence.
the goddamn toes.
Show us the
I'd be like,
toes.com.
this would be huge. Show us the fucking toes.
Show us the toes.
Now, medieval alchemists failed again and again in their attempt at such a miracle. Because, I mean, even if it was an allegory for some, it definitely wasn't an allegory for Gilles de Rais.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but instead of concluding that such a thing was impossible, alchemists decided that they must be missing some unknown ingredient.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it, Barry. Did you piss in it? Yeah. Did you spit in it? Yeah. Did
Every
you
day.
fuck a virgin last night? No.
But honestly,
Let's redo the whole thing.
all those things I was doing anyway.
And they ended up referring to this secret sauce as the Philosopher's Stone. Then, seemingly for the hell of it, they also decided that the Philosopher's Stone could be used to make a tea or wine that produced an elixir of immortality, which
Sweet.
is where alchemist Nicolas Flamel enters the picture. Now, supposedly, Nicolas Flamel, who was a real guy, he actually existed,
Okay.
he had discovered the Philosopher's Stone. And while for us, Flamel is a centuries-old figure, for Gilles de Rais, Nicolas Flamel died when Gilles was 14 years old.
Yeah, he was right there.
Yeah.
He invented alchemy during his lifetime.
Yeah. Therefore, Flamel and the Philosopher's Stone were within living memory, and Flamel had been French to boot, local guy. Nicholas had made his wealth speculating in real estate, which gave him the appearance of bottomless pockets.
Man, that has been around since time, since buildings
Yeah.
can be
Yep.
sold.
Since land.
The
Real
idea of being
estate.
like, "Hey, I'm not really liquid right now.
Yes, indeed. Real estate. A tale as old as time.
And since Flamel also dabbled in alchemy, a rumor started that he had found the Philosopher's Stone. That's why he had bottomless pockets.
Wow.
This is like when you see someone just being like, why do they always on a boat on Instagram? Like, why are you
Right.
always on a boat? Why are you always, like, at the time,
Photoshop.
you're like,
Sometimes they Photoshop
Yeah, sometimes
themselves.
they Photoshop. And sometimes they're yachting.
oh, no, I know.
Well, this is highly interesting to Gilles de Rais because he wanted to live life the way he'd been living it in every aspect. So he needed Nicolas Flamel's magic rock that created gold.
Of course he did.
You've now built a probably, $100 million church to molest people in. Then you've
For
also
theater.
put on a play.
What about the theater?
Yes, you put on a play, which is technically very positive. That's
Yes.
very positive. You put on the play, hundreds of millions of dollars went into this. You are hemorrhaging money. And you are an unrepentant, child molesting psychopath that's also not good at work.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting there being like, ooh, this is not going to continue. You must have a magical rock.
Yeah. And
Right.
I know that the Philosopher's Stone is not necessarily a magical rock. It's a word for a substance.
It's a whole thing.
Or it's an allegory, but for our purposes, it's a fucking magic rock.
It might as well
Okay.
be.
Yeah. See, the thing about Gilles de Rais that's often misunderstood when people call him a satanic pedophile child killer is that the satanic part is somewhat of an exaggeration.
Hey, let's leave the Satanist alone.
I mean, it definitely makes him sound more ghoulish and interesting.
awesome.
But it's not his main gig.
Sure.
Put another way, he did not get into black magic and Satan because it was evil and rad like other occult murder torture killers like Richard Ramirez and Bob Berdella. Instead, Gilles de Rais got into the game for money. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why it's for
There's
money.
so much money in it.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't know. Well, he was just like, well, I've tried being an army for hire, but then I have to travel.
That's a lot of
I
work.
try to do all of this, but I just spend money. I'm not stop making any money. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Start charging money for the theater, the tickets.
But then everyone won't want to. Everyone won't think I'm the greatest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Because that's what. Because remember how Bernie Madoff said that was his ultimate flaw was that he just wanted to be a good guy to everybody.
Yeah.
He did.
And he just didn't know. And if they wanted me to be the go-to guy, so I needed to be the go-to guy for them.
He cared too much.
He cared too much. He worked
Absolutely.
too hard.
Mm-hmm.
See, what Gilles needed more than anything was cash to spend so he could maintain his fantasy of unlimited privilege. The whole thing of him trying to recreate his childhood. So he pawned properties, he pawned castles. Sometimes he sold entire towns at fire sale prices in order to get cash as fast as possible to buy more stuff and to pay for more theatrical productions.
That'd be a fun Pawn Stars episode.
A town?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to need to call in my expert, and it's Barbara Corcoran
Yeah, Barbara Corcoran.
from
Yeah.
Shark Tank. She's horny. She'll fuck you right now, dude. She is so horny.
I just want to be left alone by
Well, he's in real estate.
But speaking of Gilles' productions, it seems as if he already understood some pretty heavy magical principles even while he was producing Les Mystères du Siège d'Orléans. Or at least he was trying to figure out some magical principles. See, it's been theorized that Gilles was attempting to magically invoke the spirit of Joan of Arc through the mystery play. Don't know why, it's just been speculated.
Well, because what do we know about tulpas? You know what I mean? That is the thing that is the very old concept of kind of great, but also it's just maybe kind of a hope.
I mean, he might just miss his friend, and he might, because that's the thing.
Those were his best time. Those were his best years.
They really were his best years during his time with Joan, where that was the peak of his life. And a lot of serial killers too, they also say like, I need someone to stop me. Why won't somebody stop me? And I think maybe he thinks if Joan of Arc comes back, then he will stop.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He'll be a better person. He won't fucking murder children anymore.
Okay.
Well, it's been theorized that he, of course, was trying to invoke the spirit of Joan of Arc. And through his studies, he'd learned that a requirement for magic was that every material used in a magical ritual had to be, quote unquote, virgin, never used before.
But what these people did not know, if this is true, that they were all part of some super ritual, like some big old thing, is that's technically also against magical ritual principles as it is.
You're going to go do, you're technically Gilles.
Yes.
You're going to go do that with Gilles
That's what he needed. That's what he needed, somebody like me.
You're going to pull technical, you're going to pull a Reddit card?
It didn't work, did it?
I'm going to pull a technical card. Well, technically, this is 15th century magic. You're talking more 18th century magic, 19th century magic. You're talking Order of the Golden Dawn magic.
But this Hermetic teachings came from somewhere, didn't they?
Guys, we'll discuss it later over a drink.
Well, this is why Gilles insisted that the costumes be made anew for every performance. Because to use any object secondhand or to use anything that had been used in non-magical endeavors was to court failure, if not outright disaster. But Gilles, he didn't care about spending insane amounts of money because by the time his spending habits had reached their heights, he'd already come to believe that he was just a hair away from discovering the secret to unlimited wealth through alchemy and black magic.
Perfect.
You know what this is, man? This is Jeffrey Epstein dumping his money into Harvard scientists trying to live forever. Like trying to isolate his cock and to move into space. Like it's that shit.
Yeah. And this is old magic. This is grimoire magic. This is Merlin magic.
Yes.
This is not Aleister Crowley and his fucking Ponzi friends having imaginary spell spats in overpriced London flats.
Yeah. So
These
this
guys
is less butt plugs, maybe.
These guys thought they had God on tap.
Yeah.
This is like
and the devil on tap, more importantly.
Yeah.
Ooh, on draft. Not bad.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that these grimoires that were being written, like this is a grimoire that was written like last week. You know, these were transcribed grimoires. This is before the printing press, so only the most wealthy could afford these
so
tomes.
you would say then maybe admit that writing those grimoires might be more difficult than dictating them then.
Writing them.
Don't fall into his little fucking trap. The person who writes it's the person who thinks of it.
Yeah, the person
that just fucking writes it is basically a typewriter.
There is a word for that. It's called a scribe.
Yes. And indeed, a scribe, without a scribe, who gives a fuck what you're saying? Because they have to write it all down.
That's you. That is your entire life.
What?
Is just talking and no one writing it down.
That's what you and I do.
Yeah.
People write down my words in their mind.
So you're saying they're doing the hard work of writing down the words in their mind that while you're just yapping?
They hear my words like Frodo saw the ring. Memorize. They put it in their brains. Because of the way I've learned how to speak.
You've lost your. This is it.
That's not,
this is over.
No, anyway, it is difficult to write.
Yeah,
you know.
I know.
You know.
I know. Now, sometime around 1436, Gilles was told of a goldsmith who claimed to know the secrets of alchemy. So Gilles found the man, gave him a single silver piece, and told him to transmute it to gold. Instead, the goldsmith took the piece, locked himself in a room, got drunk, passed out, woke up, and absconded with the silver.
Technically, that's just that's a consultation.
It is.
It's hilarious. I just like that happened. That'll happen now.
Well, I love this again. It's all like with the same brains. They have the same brains that we have.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's just surrounded by con men.
Oh, yeah. And this was only the first of many, many men to hoodwink Gilles de Rais under the guise of teaching him one sort of magic or another. But even though his first foray was a bust, Gilles was tantalized by the possibility of transmutation. So he got 2 of his priests at the Chapel of Holy Innocents, who usually phoned him boys. They said, put that on hold.
Okay.
I got other people to get me boys. I want you guys on finding me magicians.
You know what that meant? That's a decision that came from a fresh ejaculate. Because that's a clear-headed idea.
decision, yeah.
I guess so.
Well, the first priest was Eustace Blanchet, and the second was Father André Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd recently brought Gilles, a 9-year-old boy, to rape and murder in exchange for a really nice horse.
Big pants. That's the big pants
Yeah,
that time
that's
period.
that. All right.
And so, through Blanchet, Boucher, and Gilles' cousin, Gilles de Rais, began
A lot of French.
A lot of French.
and it all rhymes. He began interviewing potential magicians.
Oh my God.
That would have been fun.
Terrible lobby.
Yes, indeed.
One, known only as Trompette, later claimed that he had instructed Gilles on how to sign a pact with the devil using his own blood.
First thing you do is you gotta pop open the skin, right? Then you just sign your John Hancock right on this slip of paper. John Hancock's not gonna be around for another 7
No, he's not. And it's Herbie Hancock.
Funny old bit.
Yes, indeed. So these guys are just killing a bunch of rabbits in front of him and doing a bunch of tricks with doves and cards and stuff.
They probably got some of that fun powder that you throw into a fire. And
Are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah.
Yes.
But Gilles, he later insisted during his trial that he never sold his soul to the devil for power or for riches.
I mean, that's really not even, why are we talking about that?
because
there's so many other things, like there's tangible things that he did that were really wrong.
It's interesting because it's how they frame it. It's how they frame what he did. Meanwhile, he's just straight up being like, no. We never fucking conjured up the devil. Do you have an idea how difficult it is to get him on the phone? Mm-hmm. We got to talk to his other. We got to talk to other
wasting
people.
time here. Let's just get to the charges, shall we?
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that later. But yeah, his whole thing was that from his perspective, God was definitely real. He didn't want to go to hell. He did fear for his immortal soul. So he figured that he'd do the same thing his grandfather, Jean de Crayon, did, is that at the end of my life, I'll just say, give me a mulligan.
A mulligan.
Fucking forgive me, God.
It's built in.
I repent, forgive me, God, and he'll go straight to heaven. And then in a few hundred years, he'll welcome Adolf Hitler and say, "How you doing?"
Yeah, honestly, they're all hanging out right now.
Yeah, they're all hanging out right now.
Isn't that fun to think about?
Well, as far as the no magic rule went, Gilles figured that he could find a back door to the powers of sorcery and alchemy without selling his soul like a common peasant.
He's trying to cheat this. The whole thing is a cheat. He's trying to do a life cheat. And he's trying to hack the life cheat.
Yeah.
It's all, when it comes down to it, it's about negotiations. You want to get in there?
I still don't know
talk
this
about
impression is
overhead.
up.
It's Harvey Weinstein.
I don't even think it sounds like it.
Look at him. Watch his interview.
I see the ugly man that he is.
I made sure this morning I boiled 2 hard-boiled eggs to know what his dick looked like.
It's incredible how many men in this city look like him.
Hey, it's called the producer's body.
It really, like every time I drive out to my doctor, I have to drive through Beverly Hills, and I always see a weird fat man in his front yard talking to somebody. It always looks like Harvey Weinstein.
It's becoming me. I'm going to eventually turn into that, but be a good one. But that's the problem, is when I drive with my top down in the car, it's never women that check it out. It's always some other fat man that's just like, nice.
With a beard.
Sometimes it's just 5 o'clock.
All right, let's not expound on it too much further.
But with each magician Gilles met, the interview usually came with some sort of demonstration of power or the appearance of power. And while most of these magicians were allegedly and technically successful in showing, they made show, they did make a little bit of show.
That's magic.
They also weren't what Gilles wanted.
No.
One magician who came to Tifauge attempted an invocation that scared Gilles so much that he locked himself in a room, sat himself down in a magical circle of protection, and refused to leave.
This is like...
It's like when I took acid at Tina's bachelor party.
It's very similar.
Oh, man, it was scary.
Something was going on. I don't know if it's a Madame Blavatsky style, like they had helpers, like people coming in and out, but Gilles de Rais was extremely superstitious.
Yes.
And as he went through these processes of finding these magicians, like each one of them scared the shit out of him. And he,
so weird,
because there's a tension. There's a tension of him understanding that I am gonna have to go all the way to the top to become innocent at the end of my life.
Yeah.
All right.
With another magician, Gilles de Rais' cousin, he was so scared that he jumped out of a window And later,
These
Was
are
he
good
Mike-
shows.
Yeah.
Like Mike Birbiglia.
yeah, and later it was also said that whatever that magician had summoned, it beat him severely and wounded his face for bothering him.
Oh, my.
I think it was just some guy.
Yeah, it really could have been.
But that was the least of the unfortunate incidents to befall some of the magicians that came into Gilles' employ. One, he drowned before he even got to the castle. He drowned on the
As
way
in
to the
Gilles
castle.
drowned him, or
No,
he just happened to
he
drown?
just happened to drown.
Yeah, man,
They
it's
just
hard
It was a
out
different
there.
time.
Yeah,
Different
rivers
time.
are different now.
Yeah.
Another one died immediately and almost cartoonishly as soon as he walked into the castle. It's one of those things where like they opened the door and he just fucking
And then meanwhile,
It's
Gilles
the
de Rais
big
was
one.
like,
There's no way this is symbolic.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
The closest it seems that any of these early magicians came to summoning something was when a man named Jean de la Rivière was instructed to summon the devil, presumably as a test.
camera test.
Yeah, and supposedly, after the magician went into the forest and futzed around for a bit,
Sure.
Gilles heard a clang.
Some kind of Foley going on out there.
Wow.
Got a Foley artist.
Clang.
All right.
Well, what was that then?
Well, the magician then entered and said that he'd seen a demon in the shape of a leopard.
No shit. No fucking shit.
No shit, dude.
He saw a leopard.
No shit. Saw a leopard, but
A
problem is-
leper or a
problem is-
leopard?
Leopard. Problem is, didn't want to talk to me. Didn't want
It's
to
a
talk to me.
cat.
He just walked on by. But they
He saw a
fucking
cat
no.
and called it a demon and then said he did his job.
Leopards are stuck up.
Yeah. Well, that's
Sure
it.
they are.
He knew that it was a demon because it gave him a disdainful look.
It's a
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah, that's what cats do.
Yeah.
That's
No,
most
but-
of their life.
no,
They're going, it's the equivalent of eye rolls.
If cats could, I mean, big cats, they'll, if they were allowed near our nuclear facilities, they would knock all the nukes off the shelf. That'd be horrible.
They would. And but that's the thing is that
Thank
Gilles
you.
was like, okay, fine. So they went back to the castle and got drunk. And the next day, the magician was like, hey, Gilles, give me 20 gold coins. I just
Why?
need 20 gold coins.
What'd you do? You told me you saw a leopard and we got hammered together.
I
You
just
didn't do
need
anything.
I just need 20 gold coins.
For what?
I'm good for it. I'm good for it.
Yeah, I'm good for
Yours
it.
fucking 20 silver coins. You make it gold.
No.
You know what the thing is? I need some gold as an example.
Yeah.
So I can show the silver what it needs to be.
And so Gilles said, fine, here, take it. And the guy just fucking left. You never saw him again.
God, it is just this. You know what it feels like? The way David Spade describes his home, but he was like when he was talking about because he got robbed several times, and he's
Yeah.
just like, all I do is I let these strange women in and out of my house. Like, I don't know who's in my house, and it just feels like that where he
You
just
gotta be
lets
careful.
people
Yeah.
in and out of his
Yeah.
home.
Now, that guy had obviously been a scam artist, and it's almost positive that every single one of the magicians who came to bilk money out of Gilles de Rais were in one way or another a charlatan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And pretty much, if you could get Gilles to even half-heartedly say, like, wow, then you were guaranteed at least a couple of gold coins.
All right. I can make him say wow.
Yeah. How? Are you going to make Gilles de Rais say
he's
wow?
just gonna fucking gape
Do
his
something.
asshole. He's
I'd do
gonna bend
something.
over.
I mean, I'd figure
Be like,
something out.
Take a look at that hole.
Take a look at that. Yeah, I'll do something like that.
But while magicians slid in and out of Gilles' life for at most a few days at a time, a magician named Francois Prelati settled in for the long game.
Oh yeah.
Vivid, brilliant, beautiful, and charming, Prelati had first studied to be a priest, but claimed to have mastered black magic and alchemy instead by the age of 20, meaning he knew the rules of both sides.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he could appeal to every part of Gilles' spiritual journey.
Okay.
By the time he met Gilles de Rais, Prelati claimed to be an accomplished necromancer who had called Satan into his service many times over the course of his career.
Tell me more.
But these days, Prelati claimed to be working exclusively with one demon.
Yeah, I got a contract now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
kind of
just one
contracted
guy.
now.
Just
Yeah.
one guy.
One.
Prelati claimed that with the help of a French doctor named Jean de Fontenay, he had summoned a demon who appeared as a handsome man in his mid-20s wearing a red cloak named Baron.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh yeah.
There he is.
Supposedly, for the paltry price of a chicken, a dove, or a pigeon, Baron could
you
be...
try to make a joke there?
No, I mean...
Poultry price?
Yeah, a pigeon...
Well, he said poultry. If he said poultry price,
Poultry price.
but he said poultry price.
Poultry price, not
No,
poultry.
I wasn't trying to
That
make
was
a
a
pun
pun.
there.
I thought
No.
you were making a
I
pun.
wasn't. Thank you for thinking of me, though.
No problem.
That is
Poultry
a,
price of a chicken.
the
I would have walked away.
the poultry
I would have
price.
walked. I would have walked out
The
the shit.
paltry price of poultry.
Exactly.
That would have been better, yeah.
There we go.
Damn it.
Well,
but
think of-
pigeons,
think-
pigeons not necessarily poultry. The pigeon's a squab.
Think about what I would write when you write.
I'm hungry. I like Bud Light. Newbies.
For just a bird, Baron could be summoned at Prelati's will, which was a claim that both baffled and impressed Gilles de Rais.
Let's just say
I love birds.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, call me a nest.
Gilles had come to believe that he just had bad luck summoning demons.
Hey.
But Prelati told him that the demons were actually ignoring him because de Rais had a bad reputation amongst the damned as a man who promised much to the pit but never delivered.
But maybe
So the
it's like when you're trying to talk to somebody who's on like farmerdate.com and you'd be like, listen, you need to put the hunting pics up top. Right, like, you know, like,
for a farmer
I'm
date.
looking at your old like summon demon pretender bullshitter.
Right.
You need to put a couple of these bird pics up top because
top.
demons love these fucking birds.
They
So the
love birds.
demons are mad that he's not doing enough bad stuff.
No, that he's they're
He's
mad.
not giving enough.
They're not even that
What do they
he's
want?
given enough, is that he told them that supposedly he told them that he would give them something and that he never followed through
Yeah, but
with
what's
his
the
promise.
demon want?
It could have been a bird. It
bird.
seriously could have been nothing more than a pigeon.
It's about the thought.
What Prelati's
Yeah, what is going? Why are these demons like this?
It's about
is there
the
like
thought.
a demon Valentine's Day that I'm
You
fucking
kind
missing?
of like, you do sort of need to, you have to court these demons. If you want them in there, you got to give out gifts. You have to do these things.
we didn't get any gifts.
See, this is the issue. This is what we all have to talk about. It's about
we
the
didn't get
thought.
any gifts.
Kissel, it's about stopping and thinking for just a moment for someone outside of yourself.
Yeah, why
and
do
be
I
like,
have to
you know
buy
who'd
them
love
and-
this? You know who'd love this magnet? Baron. You know who'd
Demon?
love this? Yeah, being
Welcome
like
to Oklahoma.
when you're in the airport and you see the like best demon supplicant award. You can like,
All right.
yeah, just that being like you're
that.
thinking of him.
Yeah, that's it.
That's just a little thing, just a little reminder.
Just a little thing.
All
Just a
right,
little thing.
fine.
Well, I think what Prelati was trying to say was like all these other magicians you've been working with, they've been doing it wrong.
They've been doing
and
it
because
wrong.
they've been doing it wrong, you've got a bad reputation. So now you're talking to me, bud. You're talking to a guy who's got a demon on tap.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I fixed James Franco with the demons.
Great.
I fixed.
Fantastic.
I'm working on Tom Sizemore. He's dead.
He's
Yeah.
dead. He might be a demon now, actually.
Now, Prelati had always kept his promises to demonkind, so he stayed at the low, low price of a bird. He never had to get more than a bird.
Oh, just one bird.
But Prelati told Gilles that since he'd broken his promises in the past, whether it was his fault or not, he had to make up for it with something far more important. A little boy. Now, it's unknown how much Prelati knew about Gilles de Rais' proclivities when he made this suggestion, but he might as well have asked Gilles to pick up a fucking gallon of milk on the way home from work for all the effort it took him to sacrifice a child to the devil.
oh my.
No shit. What?
I actually think
Oh,
it was
that's it.
probably more difficult in that time period to get a gallon of milk.
This is kind of one of those things where I think that Prelati definitely knew what was up. And we'll get into a little bit more about their relationship, about whether or not it was one of those where you give a little sucky to the big guy, right? And you go like, I'm just a little guy, I'm just a little boy. You know what I mean? Like you do that thing to get him going, right? But he just asked, he's like, but for this, it's like, we'll just need some children's parts.
Yeah.
But the way he said it kind of like, you know, wink.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Gilles showed up to the next session with a hand, a heart, the eyes, and the blood of a little boy.
No questions at 3 p.m.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
I'll get you a heart by 3 p.m.
yeah. And Prelati
Yeah.
didn't question where Gilles had sourced any of these ingredients,
No, God
and
forbid.
instead began the summoning. Still nothing happened.
Nothing happened. He brought you the heart, the eyes, the hand.
The hand.
Come on. What else do you need?
He's like, at least they're doing something with it.
Yeah. Prelati could, however, apparently invoke Baron, which, considering how Baron appeared as a 25-year-old man, suggests to me that Baron the demon might have just been some guy who hid in the
Yeah.
corner and jumped out when he was summoned.
Yeah, you think that you or what's the other option?
That he was a demon.
That he was a demon.
Well, then it's all made up.
Yeah, or
the
the-
other
or
option
the-
is that
yeah.
it's all
Yeah,
made up.
the other option is that Prelati just made it up in order to kind of save his own ass during the trial because he was a practicing black magician, which was punishable by death at the time.
But it
Okay.
does seem that those types of like scams, to question them would actually mean you're questioning the very nature of God itself, which is in and of itself heretical to do at the time. So I think a lot of times these scams are played out loud and you're kind of forced by societal implications to act like this is real because if I don't,
Gilles would not want to do anything taboo.
nothing,
No,
because, you know,
nothing.
technically his actions at this point were more just frowned upon.
Yeah.
It is weird that game taboo. I bought it at Target and I opened it up. It's just a bunch of little underwear. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I've returned that.
This is indeed taboo.
Why do you still have it?
What is happening?
Why are you pulling it out of your pocket right now?
just keep it at home. Why did you bring it to the studio?
Just keep that in your giant wallet.
Thank you.
Rise from your grave.
Now, during these summoning sessions, Prelati would draw magic circles, burn aloe and myrrh, and recite incantations such as this.
I conjure you, Baron, Satan, Belial, Beelzebub, by the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, by the Virgin Mary, and all the saints to appear in person, so that you may speak to us and fulfill our desires.
It's me, Baron.
Whoa, Baron!
Wow.
Whoa, what a mysterious occurrence!
Yes.
Now, Gilles bought all of this completely. He even began writing letters to Satan for Prelati to deliver.
Dear Satan, all I want for Christmas is a sled.
Wrong entity. Yes.
No, I was right.
You're thinking of Santa.
Yes, no, I want the sled to be made out of child's foreskins.
That's also Santa.
Well, these letters said that Gilles would give Satan everything he wanted except for his soul or the shortening of Gilles' life. I think he was hinting that he'd offer up the souls of children.
Sure.
Like, if you want me to kill children, I'll do that all day long.
I got that
Just don't ask my soul. Just don't ask for my life to be shorter.
Very Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. However, I will say that it actually took a while for Baron to appear in front of Gilles. At first, there was no Baron at all. And Prelati said that he only appeared when Gilles wasn't in the room.
Oh,
Like, when you're gone, he comes whenever I want.
That's crazy.
He's hanging out.
He's here. But
That's
since
the way that works.
still got a bad reputation, so we got to rehabilitate your
Yeah.
reputation, then he'll come. And eventually Baron did appear with Gilles present. It was probably after Gilles began to hint that if it didn't work soon, if he didn't see something soon,
Right.
then Prelati could get the fuck out.
And also, I
Okay.
think that at that point, Father Prelati, if he was asked to get the fuck out, he would probably be murdered.
Maybe, but I don't see Gilles as like, he doesn't murder men
Yeah, he doesn't like him.
in battle.
Because straight up, it's because the kids are easier.
Yeah, kids are easier. But once Baron appeared, Gilles was finally, after all this time, able to ask a demon for gold.
That's great. How
That's cool, though.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just, first of all, he needs to be talking to a leprechaun. He doesn't even have the
No,
right
because
entity.
you have to deceive a leprechaun, and then,
no,
then they
you don't
just
always
constantly
have to,
come.
No, is that no? You don't always have to deceive a leprechaun.
I'm currently burning through Leprechaun, the entire lexicon of Leprechaun right now.
That's the movie series.
That's canon.
It is.
That
It
is
is
literally
canon, I
the
know.
Bible for Leprechaun.
Honestly,
No, I
Leprechaun the
understand.
movie series is just as valid as Irish folklore.
And there's an
Okay,
entire
I mean, I'm not
museum
gonna
in
go
Dublin.
against Corey Davis is my boy.
But it is the same because they get really mad because
I agree.
it's a whole thing. You're supposed to get their gold if you find it, but you didn't ask the leprechaun, really.
Yeah.
But you know, there are some deaths that the leprechaun granted those people. Like when a guy walked into that fan with his face and got it all chopped up, right?
Yeah.
And he thought it was a big set of titties. So for him, I mean, you know,
He got deceived.
he got to see, but then but I was like, if you're gonna die, it's not that bad.
He needs his gold.
Yes.
I mean,
Leprechaun is awesome.
okay. So when you're in hospice, I'll make sure as you're dying to just have a
Just a big
fucking.
thing that
No, I'm just gonna put fucking titties up on a projector.
Yeah,
And that way you can
I mean,
on the
that's
ceiling,
incredible.
So you don't
Yes.
even have to look at. You can just look straight up, and
Please.
that can be the
Fantastic.
last thing you see.
Sure, I'm fine
Yes,
with that.
incredible. Please, yes, I want some.
Yeah,
Cool.
whatever.
All right.
It's all good.
Well, supposedly,
Yes.
Baron gave Prelati a vision of a room full of gold, but told them not allowed to touch the gold just yet.
No, that's for Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. And Gilles asked if he could see too, so Prelati led him to the room where the gold was supposed to be. But when Gilles entered the room,
Yeah?
he
It's
claimed
full of gold?
no, he saw a big snake the size of a dog
Must
with
have-
wings.
It ate all the gold.
Yeah,
no.
I feel like this was built up to something else. I don't
Yeah.
know whether or not this
A
is
snake the size of a dog.
Yeah,
it's like
and
a
it was
Henson
strong.
production. I don't know what this was.
I don't
Well,
know.
Gilles got scared and ran away.
Gilles is a bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's,
Okay.
yeah.
He's scared of magic.
Yeah.
He's scared of a lot of stuff other than killing children, apparently.
Well, oddly, though, the room was filled with something that appeared to be colored gold, but it turned out that it was just some other substance covered in a tawny colored power. See what
It was
Prelati...
probably pollen.
I mean, Prelati must have been working with Gilles' people too. I think at some point
Yeah.
just being like they're all trying to
Just
benefit
spray
from this
paint
thing.
a bunch of fucking rocks.
Because
Yeah.
he's so outside of reality.
Oh, yeah.
There is something to that where Prelati knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
And all of the crew around him knows what he's doing. He and Gilles de Rais at this point is like a slobbering maniac.
Yeah, and they know what they're doing because they're starting to fight amongst one another.
Yes.
I mean, Prelati, he supposedly received a beating from some demon, just like the previous magician had. But as it turned out, this beating was handed out by Father André Blanchet, the priest who had first been tasked with finding magicians. Blanchet had gotten jealous because he'd been excluded from all magical operations. He wanted to be in the room.
Priest fight.
Yeah, and Prelati had told Gilles that Blanchet was not to be trusted. And as it turned out, Prelati was right, because I would imagine Prelati is a very good judge of human nature. Blanchet was the first to betray Gilles at his trial. But even so, Prelati and Gilles continued working together until Gilles' capture, although it was all, of course, in vain.
Well, it's just like you're just surrounded by villains.
Yeah.
You don't think they're all not going to consume each other and then eventually consume you?
Yes. Now, when the alchemy didn't work out for Gilles de Rais, his financial fortunes only got worse, and the other nobles who wanted his lands, castles, and assets began making moves. Chief among them was Jean V, the Duke of Brittany, who wanted Gilles' lands because they were important strategically, supremely so.
This is the hook here.
Yeah.
About Gilles de Rais. Is he innocent or not? What are the motives?
Yeah.
Who benefits from Gilles de Rais going down? They want his lands.
Yeah.
But they know, like, he's hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
He is doing what this is where I feel like the true aggression amongst his peers is that as a landed noble, there's a certain sense of, seems to be, maybe I'm incorrect, this is my opinion, but from what I read, so I might be incorrect, but who knows? But it seems that the idea is that because we are above society, and we are the ones that are literally holding the structure of countries together, we're supposed to operate a certain way, right? Like, and this concept of you taking what has been generations put together tracts of land that we have been a part of, that we have been like also using, and that part of this kind of global community of nobles that have been working together are watching you flush everything down a toilet.
Yeah.
Right. And this shit, which is extremely sensitive areas for you, you're watching this guy start to really mess shit up.
Yeah.
And he's breaking all these unspoken rules. What do we do with this guy? Because again, he's a landed noble. It is very difficult to move against a landed noble.
Yeah.
Because you need a bunch of reasons. Like, you need like, was it Casus Belli, whatever the
What if he's killing and raping a bunch of kids?
I mean, that's the thing.
That's not good enough?
It's only if it's a part of a whole. It's like a part of it. That's like one thing they can use. That's a little piece.
Well, that can be like once you catch him and once you arrest him, that can be the main
tax evasion. It's like it's their version of getting somebody on tax evasion for bigger crimes.
He's messing with people's money.
Yes,
he is, and it's not. And that's the thing is that these people did want his lands, but that does not necessarily mean that Gilles de Rais was not a child murderer.
Yes.
Like those two things are not mutually exclusive.
No,
they can want his lands and he can be a child murderer.
Oh.
Yeah. At the same time, one of Gilles'
You can be anything you want to be.
That's what this is all about. That's what this whole story is about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the same time, one of Gilles' long-term servants left his service, and soon after, the local peasantry began whispering about the terrible crimes that had been committed on Gilles de Rais' many estates.
How'd they do that without social media?
Bards.
Oh, they would talk? What?
Yeah, they would talk. They would whisper.
What?
Suck. The sounds of suck. The hills are filled with the sounds of suck.
This song is actually very political. It's a political satire.
Well, the first real threat to Gilles, however, came when he made the church truly angry.
Uh-oh.
In May of 1436, Gilles kidnapped his old tutor, a priest named Michel de Fontenay, for publishing a royal edict against Gilles, presumably for the trouble he'd made in creating the Church of the Holy Innocents. Father Fontenay was thrown in a dungeon for his troubles and was only released when the local bishop demanded his release.
Amen.
Gilles, of course, gave in without anyone really knowing what Gilles' actual plan may have been. There seemed to be no plan. It was just an impulse, because he gained nothing from this entire episode except the further animosity of the church.
That's the thing. He keeps pressing these buttons.
Yeah.
And everyone's again being like, stop. Like,
Pissing the church off.
like you're being extra when none of us know why you're being like this.
Especially his family. All of his family is saying like, fucking stop it. And they're hearing because they know like Jean V is moving against de Rais to take control of his strategically important lands. Gilles, however, was either unaware or unruffled because he still believed that he was going to discover the secret of the Philosopher's Stone that would give him unlimited wealth.
I'm going to get us all out of this place.
Well, it's big if true. You know, if
Big
he
if
did,
true.
it would be fantastic.
It really
that's
would
what
be.
they're all saying.
Yeah.
He's Elizabeth Holmes.
Well, as such, he abandoned all interest in his estates and signed over power of attorney to his cousin, Robert de Briqueville, who had been one of the family members who had sourced children for Gilles. And interestingly, 2 people testified in Gilles' trial that 5 years before Gilles' arrest, they'd lodged a complaint with Robert de Briqueville because they'd discovered a pipe full of dead children at the castle Chantilly, not knowing that Robert was one of the men who'd provided Gilles with these children.
Jesus.
Now, concerning those bodies, it was said in the trial that when Gilles lost control of his castle at Machecoul to John V, he panicked and ordered his servants to dispose of the bones of about 40 children from a tower near the lower halls of the castle. Allegedly, 2 noble ladies watched the removal and showed nor felt any horror or disgust at what they saw beyond the normal human reaction to decomposing flesh. They were far more concerned, it was said, that Gilles had lost the control of the castle to John V.
Well, it's because it was their home and it was where they worked. It's where it was their entire lives. And so the more people he was fucking over with what he was doing, the more people started. But still, as a helping class in this time period, I can't stick myself in the middle of these situations where I'm going to end up in that fucking pipe too.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just decomposing flesh to this guy. This is again saying if all of this is real. It's like,
if all of this is real. And I also don't think that Gilles de Rais would have, I don't know if he was a murderer of men and women.
But I'm saying you could see how.
You'd think.
You'd think
There's
this.
40 the bodies of 40 children being taken out from the walls of this castle. This guy might be dangerous. Yes.
He definitely slayed in the theater.
Serving much.
Yeah, I clapped back.
But it's this happens several times. It's again, is this real or is it not? I don't know. It's a lot of people saying it, that he'd sell a castle.
It's hundreds of people saying it.
I mean, it's probably
freak
just
out.
true.
They go run. They clean it out of bodies and shit.
Yeah, what
and
else
he
would
was
you do?
scurrying around trying to figure out what to do this while he's also like, and that costs money too.
This is like the most human part of, you got to clean it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And once the bodies were taken away, they were burned in a huge pyre in the presence of Gilles, his cousin, his 2 manservants, and his 2 priests. And what ashes were left from this pyre, they were tossed into the water pipes at the castle Chantilly. Now, you may say that there was no way that these bodies could have been burned to nothing but ash without leaving something behind.
There's no way these bodies could have been burned to ash without leaving something behind.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And if you said that, just like Ben said it, then you'd be on the side of the movement defending Gilles de Rais' innocence.
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
I
look
didn't
what
know
you
what I
done.
was saying.
You apologist.
I was under duress.
See, no bones or clothes or anything was found at any of Gilles' properties by authorities as far as we know.
Sure.
It's not a matter of record. Concerning the many, many disappearances, it is the defender's contention that there is no more evidence that more children went missing around Gilles de Rais than in any other area during that time period, because it was, after all, an age of death. It was full of plagues and wars. It was also the Little Ice Age, famine.
Oh, yes. You got famine, and the 100 Years' War just ripped its way through the entire country. Then that was 116 years over 3 distinct periods.
Periods. 3 distinct.
And so there was a lot of destabilization in the area, but just also, to me, again, but that also, for me, provides another smokescreen of why he was able to then hide everything, because he had the time and the resources. But
And let's not forget, one of the most popular pastimes was the Hunger Games. And then, my God. If
you know how many stock pots you can fill with bones to make as much soup as possible?
Probably a lot.
Grind his bones to make my bread. Yes.
Probably a lot.
Soak his bones to make my soup.
Yes. Bone broth.
I'm hungry.
And therefore, according to the defenders, 40 children going missing over the course of 8 years would not have been an alarming or unusual number.
Sure.
Which I will admit is a compelling, if difficult to prove, argument.
Yes, I think it's as difficult to prove as the other side.
Yeah, and indeed, many more children than 40 may have gone missing, because peasants, and especially peasant children, were seen by the nobility as lower beings who weren't even supposed to have emotions. It was, however, said that 2 of Gilles de Rais' family members found child skeletons after the supposed cleanup of the crime scenes, but they did little more than lightly question 2 of Gilles' servants before dropping the matter entirely.
Yeah, because, to be honest, do you want to be the one to be like, tell everybody, look what I found. When you have a man that is, so both sides for me hold water, where it's like, I could see why you'd think, like, why it doesn't make sense, why there wouldn't be evidence, but I could also see that there's a heavy motivation for someone who finds evidence to not bring it forward.
Yeah. See, to Gilles' family, their duty was to the property, and it was no more their duty to protect the peasants than it would be to tend to the pigs and horses. In fact, the horses were probably held in higher esteem than the peasants.
Yes.
But this castle at Machecoul was not the only place where Gilles was murdering children. There was also the aforementioned Castle Chantilly. See, Gilles had also sold Chantilly to Jean V, the Duke of Brittany, and he therefore, again, had to remove all evidence of his crimes before handing the keys over to the Duke.
Right.
Gilles' servant, Henri Grier, said that they had only 2 days to clean up the mess, and since there wasn't enough time to burn the bodies of dozens of children hidden in one of the towers, 3 of Gilles' servants stuffed the dead children into chests, tossed them on a boat, and floated them down the river to parts unknown.
Oh my good supply chains.
It's a way to do it.
Now, once Jean V had control over the castle Chantilly, he had no use for Gilles, so it was time to get rid of him for good.
And you can get those last little pieces left. Let's suck up everything else he's got.
Mm-hmm. Jean V joined forces with the bishop, who was pissed at Gilles for kidnapping the priest, and a guy who was still mad at Gilles about some shit that happened over a decade earlier during the 100 Years' War.
Okay.
Now, Jean V and the others didn't particularly care that Gilles was murdering peasant children, any more than they would have cared if he was fucking and murdering sheep.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't give an H.
They probably would have cared more if he was fucking sheep.
Honestly, he was fucking the sheep. You're like, we need the sheep for mutton.
Yeah.
And that's all full of cum.
Well, that's not good.
I'm going to have to scrape
Well, you want
all
to
the
shear
skin.
it. You want to shear it for the clothes.
But this triumvirate knew that if they could brand him as a criminal, then they could confiscate all of his remaining lands and assets.
Oh, yeah. And they have to, and they were like, okay, what do we know about Gilles? And I do believe that that's where there's a part of this where you're like, all right, it's time to pull the pedophile button. It's time to pull the, like, we're all done with it. We all know what he does, right? We're all sick of it, right?
We've all done it with him. Wait, what was that? Yeah, we've all been there with him. I mean, probably most of them have.
Oh, sure.
And so Jean V ordered a discreet investigation into Gilles de Rais' sex life, and Gilles did not disappoint. Over the next couple of months, Gilles raped and murdered a teenager at a hotel in Nantes, then raped and murdered another in a convent in Bourgogne.
And this is all from witness testimony and people talking about kids basically going into a room with him and not coming out.
But on the other hand, this is also witness testimony by people hired by Jean V.
Sure.
So that in itself makes it somewhat suspect.
Okay.
Was there a glove that did or not fit on his hand?
I mean, he had a gauntlet.
Okay.
Well, days later, Gilles made a big show of saying that he was going to change his sinful ways. He was going to make a pilgrimage into the Holy Land.
So
he was
he
going to
admitted
cleanse
it.
himself. Well, at least to his crew, you know.
This is the thing,
Okay.
is that that is real. So there are interior things that Gilles de Rais is doing to also show that whatever it is that he feels guilty about, he's going to try and fix. And
Yeah.
he's telling
Okay.
everybody, he's like, I'm going to rehab.
Yeah.
He's doing the rehab
He's doing
thing.
the thing. I'm going to sex. I'm addicted to sex.
Oh.
I'm addicted. He's doing what David Duchovny did. You
Yeah.
remember when he
Yeah.
had to beg for all of our
Let's not
forgiveness?
give Duchovny. Let's not bring him into this.
I'm just saying. it's-
Sexual dynamo, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
Good
I
idea.
heard that too. It's more like against Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah,
so.
it's
He's
again
been
like Kevin
brought up
Spacey.
quite a
But
bit.
instead of going to the Holy Land, he raped and killed a 13-year-old boy. And he killed these 2 young brothers that he just found. in
That was just
separate
because that was
incidents.
his. He didn't. We didn't know that
that's-
was code. Going to the Holy Land was code
That's
for him
bad.
doing it.
Yeah, right.
At the same time, Gilles had returned to raiding the countryside in direct opposition to what King Charles VII wanted from his nobles. See, remember before where I said that, you know, going into the 100 Years' War, the third phase of the 100 Years' War,
Third phase.
that all of the French kingdoms were many different kingdoms. It was not one unified front. It was a bunch of different nobles with their own little villages, their own, you know, little castles, and so on and so forth.
Apparently, I was right when I said that's similar to Italy.
Ah, very good.
Wow.
That's nice.
Good job, Henry.
You know what? I didn't tell you were wrong. I just said I didn't know if you were right.
But isn't that something? Someone told me he was right. That's good. That's
That is-
very
that is
good.
very
I'm
good.
happy
That's
for
very
you.
good. You
did good.
You do have that good boy look on your face right now.
Yes, you did.
You
quite
got this.
good. You got it, buddy.
Well, by this time, the king was trying to end all that. He was trying to legitimize his role by forming a standing royal army instead of having to rely on private armies paid for by nobles like Gilles de Rais. He didn't want to depend on people like him anymore.
He's realizing this might be these liabilities that I have to deal with are actually they're piling up.
Yeah, and we're not going to say that like Gilles de Rais was the impetus for this decision, but he was certainly the largest example of what was wrong with the system. In other words, European feudalism was coming to an end. And this, of course, is one of the other things that lays at the heart of the conspiracy theories surrounding Gilles. In addition to John V doing his damnedest to snatch Gilles de Rais' lands and castles, King Charles VII, I think, needed to make an example of someone.
Yes.
And a worthless troublemaker would have made the perfect target to show the rest of the nobles that if they didn't fall in line with what King Charles wanted to do with France, then their more nefarious habits might come to light as well.
Well, Mr. King Charles, you think you've got me against the wall, don't you? Baron, attack! Baron!
Baron?
Baron!
Baron?
That was a man.
He's on lunch.
Yes. I think that was a man, yes.
Now, even though Gilles had lost control of Machecoul, he's still asked to stay there.
We're just like, come on, let's just think about this. My stuff's here. Like, you won't even know I'm there. All right,
like-
big castle.
It's like Cato asking OJ if he can stay.
Yes.
Well, come on. Still a nice room.
But perhaps there had been a flurry of activity. Rumors were quickly spreading amongst the local populace that Gilles was a child murderer who openly practiced magic, which he was.
Hey, I'm a successful child murderer. I am unsuccessful in practicing magic.
But to them, he wasn't killing children for pleasure. That's not what they thought he was doing. That to them was beyond. They believed that he was writing a book using the blood of the children he killed.
Well, now we're saying, like, once you're past the lip of we think he's killing kids, everything
Right.
else, you can kind of see why the imagination leads its way to.
It runs
Was
well.
there an ink shortage or something?
No, you had to write the book in the blood of children so you could get the attention of the devil.
The Book of Shadows.
Yeah. And when you get the attention of the devil, if he was able to complete the book, then he would have the power to take any castle he wanted because he would be invulnerable, fueled by the power of Satan himself.
Oh my God. Everyone knows that the devil only reads, I'm trying to think, as a courier. Remember, you just think about a funny joke if you're out there and you know fonts.
Fonts.
Courier,
Courier, not
Courier,
he doesn't
sure,
read
sure,
Arial,
sure,
he
sure.
only reads Times New Roman.
Times New Roman. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, he only reads
Don't even get him
Times-
started on Comic Sans.
There you go.
Or
Thank
Papyrus.
Oh, God.
Honestly, most Satanists I know are into like car repair.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
really into the right to repair movement.
Yeah.
It's because we're all our own kingdoms and our own gods, and we need to
Is there-
handle our own territory.
Right to, has that been taken away, the right to repair your own car?
You see the John Deere.
Yeah.
The
Right,
farmers
it is-
just fought for that, and they finally got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is actually a very big deal.
I'm
And
missing it.
I'm on the side of the Satanists when it comes to right to repair because I'm also on the side of the farmers.
See?
I'm on the side. I am as well. The right to repair.
See, he sees the fear in his eyes. I saw the fear of the farmer in his eyes. Yeah.
I saw it.
He's afraid of Willie Nelson's vengeance.
I am.
And yet, even though Gilles was under investigation, he continued killing children. Or at least it was a funny little coincidence that children seemed to be going missing wherever he happened to go.
Okay.
However, it wasn't child murder that got Gilles arrested. Rather, the downfall of Gilles de Rais had to involve something that could be proven, some grand event, something that the nobility could get behind, something that could take away all of Gilles' money and power. And that occurred when Gilles engaged in banditry for the last time in 1439.
This is one of my big arguments, is that they didn't even need the child murdering charge. They didn't even need it. They already had something on him to fucking fully bust him up.
What is banditry when your stepdad joins a Steely Dan cover band named Steely Tom or some other thing? It's been a longer series than I expected. It's like, it's a lot.
Rise from your grave.
Well, acting on the advice of the demon baron, who again may
He's
or may
still
not.
there?
Yeah, he's just the guy. Now
Who's
he's
Baron?
hanging out.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Prelati is still there, and
Okay.
and so Gilles is like, "What do I do? What do I do here?
What do I
And
get now?
so-
Because now, honestly,
Jesus.
I've hired Baron.
Yeah,
He's hanging out.
Yeah.
And
Right.
he's just hanging out, being like, is this your cereal? Like, he's that dude. He's
Yeah.
like the third. We had that in our apartment in Tallahassee. I remember when we let our buddy Palin let his weird friends start to like, it started like they just want to sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
But eventually
Let the boy
they're-
sleep in your bed.
They're just hanging out and they're eating your stuff.
They're all the
taking the
time.
mirrors off the bathroom
You can
where
imagine how-
they would like to do Adderall on it and shit.
Henry must have been so angry when he saw them eating all of his food.
I know.
I was broke.
Yeah, I don't have enough money to spend on
They've been fucking a lot. I was
the ice cream that I can
I was fucking. You're making fun of the poor.
This is the month that I was able to get
literally-
Haagen-Dazs instead of Turkey Hill.
I had nothing. And the man that was supposed to be the first stage manager for Murderfest, he had deceit and malice tattooed on his arms. And then he stole my last package of bologna. That is real. And then disappeared in the night. He was real. That is a problem.
Well, again, acting on the advice of the demon baron, Gilles decided to gather 70 men and retake the castle at Saint-Étienne-de-Mer-les-Morts from John V's treasurer after Gilles had sold it to him.
It's kind of like he was like, you know what, man? I used to be fucking hardcore, man.
Yeah.
Like, I used to do this shit, man. Why am I sitting here? Why am I playing with money? Money's fake, bro.
Yeah.
I should just go fucking get my shit.
Yeah,
But he sold all of his rights to everything.
Of course.
Yeah, but he wanted to retake it. Nah, it's fucking mine, bro. It's one of those things where it's like, no,
so
you
stupid.
cheated me. You cheated me. I sold it to you, but you cheated me, so now I have the right to take it back. And he burst into the church riding a horse with a double-edged battle axe.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and he allegedly shouted, quote,
You thieving scoundrels! You have beaten my men and extorted money from them. Come outside the church, or I'll lay you out dead.
Wow, bold statement.
very bold. He then captured the brother of Jean V's treasurer, and he captured a priest, and he threw both of them into a dungeon before taking control of the castle himself, thereby committing 3 transgressions that together were enough to bring Gilles de Rais down.
Wow.
By marching into the church, he'd violated ecclesiastical property. By imprisoning the priest, he'd offended church law. By dispossessing the owner, he'd attacked a member of John V's household. And when you combined all that into one, Gilles' enemies had all they needed to move against him.
Wow. And he hit somebody when he was going down a ski, when he was skiing on a ski
That was the worst
weekend.
part.
That
And then
was
his
the
skis
worst.
went between
The
her legs, and
legs.
he
Wow, it's
groaned. I
horrible.
heard the groan.
The groan.
Wow. So this, out of all the horrible things this man has done, it's trespassing and false imprisonment of a douchebag.
Yes.
Yeah, trespassing, false imprisonment, and a little bit of assault.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Jean V levied a fine that Gilles couldn't pay. So all of his property and everything he gained through battle or by inheritance gone in an instant.
Wow.
Then an official inquiry was set in motion to collect evidence from people who had lost children wherever Gilles de Rais had hung his hat. Gilles, meanwhile, knew nothing of the child murder investigation. So after
You mean my hobbies are a crime?
How is it a crime?
So after a meeting with Jean V that went particularly badly, Gilles indulged himself by having his manservant Henriet take 3 children into a field outside of town
You
so
know,
he could kill them.
I'm just so stressed out. Could you just get 3 of those choir boys out there? I gotta see some blood. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe releasing their blood will release my blood.
Gilles then spent a short time in the country at the estate of a man named Lemoine, where Gilles met with his priest, André Boucher. Boucher soon sourced a 10-year-old boy for Gilles to rape and murder, and when Gilles had done so, figured probably not a good idea to burn it on this guy's property. It's not my house. So the corpse was tied to its own belt and lowered into the house's cesspool.
Ugh.
The body, however, did not sink all the way under. So manservant Poitou had to be lowered into the shit pit to
Ugh.
shove the corpse under with his hands and feet.
Oh, I thought you were going to say rescue the boy.
No,
No,
boy's
Use
already
the
dead.
body. I
Boy's
know,
already
but
dead,
get the
yeah.
evidence.
No. And that made one of Gilles' last murders particularly degrading. That's his second to last murder.
Ugh.
Finally, on July 29th, 1440, an edict was published against Gilles de Rais proclaiming that he, with certain accomplices, had slaughtered, murdered, and massacred in the most odious fashion several young boys, that had oftentimes taken pleasure against nature and practiced the vice of sodomy against them.
Oh.
It was also proclaimed that he oftentimes made pacts with the devil through child sacrifice.
It's a very casual way of saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although that one's sort of incidental because Gilles did the vast majority of his murder outside of his black magic practices.
Can you imagine that being that, having to yell at everybody, being like, no, listen, my black magic had nothing to do with the
Right.
kids. I was trying to make movies.
Yeah, I think it all kind of goes together at this point.
But once this edict was published, Gilles thought to hell with it. Let's do one more. and he assaulted, murdered, and incinerated a young boy who just entered into his service after Gilles had his servant buy the boy a new doublet.
And these are the ones that hold the most water.
Yeah.
These last ones are the ones, like the flagons
all the
of
eyes are
children.
on him.
Yes, all the eyes are on him. And like, these are the ones that he is doing. And now his crew knows we're all being investigated, but they're all kind of just locked in. They're all just, it was different. I don't know how to put it, because it's not like nowadays where the FBI, you'll see them, like the car out front and stuff. That's how you know if you're being tracked, if a fucking Wi-Fi signal shows up that you don't recognize inside of your own home. It's a good way to know if
that's not
somebody's looking for you.
necessarily true.
That's
There's not a
what I said.
Wi-Fi password.
It's a good way to actually, if you just really
Are
fucking
you
think about
interviewing
who's
the
looking for you.
CEO
What
of
if-
TikTok right now?
What if your neighbor just gets a new router?
You fucking FBI tap, bro. Go over there and
I
ask them
don't-
what's going on. Give me the password, dude. Let me send you a fax then. Right?
Okay, well,
But
let's
it's like-
not scare the audience.
So they don't know that they're fully investigating. Maybe that's part of what it, or maybe they're just like, I mean, I don't know. Like,
Maybe this is him
Gilles
just-
get out. Gilles gonna figure us out. He's gonna get us out of this.
Well, by this time, he doesn't have castles to hide behind anymore. So
Right.
so everywhere that Gilles goes, he goes to a town, someone gets murdered. A young boy gets murdered. He goes to another town, young boy gets murdered. Everywhere he's going, a young boy gets murdered. The only other explanation is that one of Jean V's men is following Gilles de Rais and murdering young boys wherever
to frame
Gilles
him.
is to frame him. Which
Well-
is, honestly, which one of these is more likely?
As his defense attorney, let's talk about the word coinkadunk. It could be a coinkadunk.
No, I don't mean just be a small country lawyer.
Oh, it's coinkadunk.
A coinkadunk is what? I'll just about circumstances point to a coinkadunk.
And then he can be like, look at the shrubbery. It's longer. Than it
Yeah,
was.
sure. My
And now
mama,
look-
my mama is 475 pounds thin. But yeah, just because she eats a Hungry Jack meal 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, that's coinkadunk.
That's
How could I
Quinkadunk.
find him guilty? His lawyer's so fun.
Well, after that, Gilles was finally arrested on September 15th, 1440. Because all the rest of the stuff, that just took away all of his money.
Right, which is important.
Yeah, which
to-
is big.
to
I mean,
start
it's just
the
big. I mean,
process,
he could just be kicked to the curb. But yeah, they finally, it's like, okay, he's been murdering a lot of children. It's pretty obvious now.
Yeah.
His two cousins, they disappeared soon after.
probably
As
for the
did quite
best.
a few others. They said there were 16 accomplices. I think they ended up catching like 5 or 6.
I think I'm getting a flu. I better go. I'm just
I
going to
didn't
go
get-
now.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But the priest Blanchet, the magician Prelati, and the manservants Poitou and Henriet were captured, as was the roaming witch known as the Terror.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's cool.
Just lame.
Mm-hmm.
Gilles' public trial began within a month, and a formal indictment of 49 paragraphs was read, 34 of which enumerating Gilles' murderous crimes in great detail, while also outlining all of the sacrilegious dealings he'd had with various sorcerers and heretics.
Because now they're just piling on too.
Yeah.
I do see that that's where you can have a little bit of suspicion because they're stuffing it
Yeah.
to try to like get him. They're
Yeah.
trying to finally
get him on something.
Yeah.
And they're making it sound as horrible as they possibly can.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're exaggerating even what's already horrible. They're exaggerating even that.
But that's how they got to the exaggerations.
Yeah.
Was that there was something for it to grow from. But, but this points to a lot of people. That's where like the exaggerating part, my thing is that, again,
Absolutely.
if you give, but truly, if you get, Epstein bought an island to have sex on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like there is a precedent.
Yes.
for
Tom
this.
Hanks collects typewriters. There's a difference.
Wow.
There's a difference. You
Take
can
it
look
to Twitter, boys.
You can look at the things that men do, and you can extrapolate from the things that men do into what
History,
possibly
and-
they may do.
Yes. What humans may do.
Mhm.
Oh.
Now, the innocent side claims that the main focus of the plot against Gilles de Rais was the legal land snatch, but there were also political reasons.
That's my wife.
But there were also political reasons for smearing Gilles as a pedophilic child murderer. See, the 100 Years' War wasn't over just yet by the time Gilles went on trial, and the Duke of Brittany had close ties with the English throne. The Duke of Brittany, of course, was Jean V. Gilles de Rais was, of course, still closely linked with Joan of Arc, as this was before he was eradicated from her history. Joan, meanwhile, was still considered a heretic by some, and even some in France, particularly Burgundians.
Yeah, the damn
Oh, they-
Burgundians, balls over
Well,
dick.
she beat the hell out of
Yeah.
him, didn't she?
And Charles VII had been crowned king, but he was still a little wobbly. Therefore, if Gilles were to be found guilty, then it could be said, or at least whispered, that King Charles VII owed his throne to the heretic Joan of Arc and the black magician child murderer Gilles de Rais.
Oh.
And as it was, Gilles did refuse to even reply to the charges when he was first brought before the court,
Oh, yeah.
saying that the judges had no authority over him. But after Gilles was, quote, put to the question, which was the medieval term for legal torture, Gilles changed his mind.
Oh, yeah. When the Inquisition showed up, that is fun because it's kind of like if you dropped John Wayne Gacy into Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
Right?
He wouldn't do well.
But you know what I mean? Like, you have this guy that is, if this is real, because this is my take, is that if he is this kind of like psychopath, warrior, child murderer, but then you just been like, okay, we'll talk to a couple members from the Inquisition. And then you can hear me go like, wait, let's just think about this for a second.
Let's think about it.
And yeah, this is, of course, another point taken by the innocent side. The Gilles was coerced into a false confession by torture. But on the other hand, I don't know if this necessarily washes, because Gilles was, after all, a seasoned battlefield veteran. He was an absolute demon, by all accounts, who could take pain. So it seems weird that he couldn't survive torture for longer than a day.
Well, it's,
he was
transcript. This is where the issue is. It's stuff where it is both a highly like detailed transcript of the trials. But there are also parts that are left out. And what we do know about the way things are transported, because there was no stenographer.
No.
They are written from memory after the fact. So everyone, you hear kind of a bass and you riff it up. So there is a pause in the coverage. The Inquisition shows up. There's like a day where it's never said implicitly that he was tortured. We are inferring that he was tortured, but there's some people, there's the other side that they think that he wasn't tortured at all. And this was a negotiational tactic of like, if you give us a win for the church, if basically plead guilty, we will not desecrate your corpse when you die.
Yeah.
And you can legally tell everyone you're going to heaven.
Well, yeah,
If
basically,
you
we will allow you to die as a Christian.
Yes, we'll allow you to die. And so there's this moment in time being like, so was he coerced by actual physical punishment, or is it just appealing to his like this weird inner spiritual thing that he has said before that I'm trying to fight for my immortal soul? I don't know.
I mean, and it could also be that Gilles just finally realized that the game was up. There's no point in prolonging the inevitable. Why am I going to go through days and days and days of torture when I know what's going to happen at the end?
It's already done.
It's done.
Yeah, the torture is bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be tortured. One day's a lot.
Yeah, one day.
Oh, no, and it's old school, dog.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I've seen those museums.
Yeah, it's the pear. It's the rack.
Ooh.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
It's the wheels. You know?
And you kind of think for a while, like that's the other thing, is that I kind of weirdly think you'd like it.
No, I don't think so. Pear is very
Maybe.
scary.
Well,
The pear is scary.
Yeah, they're all pretty scary.
Well, to that point, during the trial, Gilles agreed that he had killed children, but had only done so for 8 years, not the 14 that he'd been accused of. But on the other hand, Gilles might have also said this to save the reputation of Joan of Arc, because if he admitted to all 14 years, then that meant that he was murdering children while he was at the side of a saint.
Yeah, so he wanted...
eight is enough.
It is enough.
Yeah.
But he
It is
also,
enough.
he wanted to, yes, I think that there was something about preserving that time period too for himself.
Yeah. Gilles also denied sacrificing children to the devil and said that he committed his crimes, quote, in accordance with his own imagination and thought, following no man's counsel but his own, solely for his pleasure and carnal delight, and with no other end in view. And to me, that is a fucking classic serial killer confession.
Oh, yes. Being like, this is all me.
It's well put.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very well put. But it is, I mean, you hear those confessions in modern times.
Right.
That's how that was BTK's
That was-
confession.
absolutely.
You know?
And then dispassionately talking about all of the details.
Yeah. And one by one, Gilles' accomplices, when they could be found, they gave their confessions and they were condemned to death. Chief among them, Poitou and Henriet.
That's my one thing, is that like, they all knew they were going to death.
Yeah.
Like, so
If you're
why,
going, yeah, if
what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, why are you, there's no point to like, I know that you're trying to save yourself in one way, shape, or form. You're trying to save yourself, but still, like, you all know you're going to death. Why throw everybody under the bus
Yeah.
for no reason?
Yeah.
Well,
If
you want to
know.
have fun. It's fun to bring people with you.
It's hard because you're also getting people that are just screaming at you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a fun process, the trial.
Yeah. Well, Poitou and Henriet, along with Gilles de Rais, they were sentenced to be hanged and burned on October 26, 1440. Gilles, however, asked that he be hanged and burned first, quote, so that he might set a good example.
Are you hung then burned or burned then hung?
Hung, then burned. Hanged.
I thought it was burned, then hanged.
I believe it is hanged, then body is burned.
Body is burned. Because one of the things that I read said that his body was lit on fire and then they hung him. But that also tells you rope's probably going to burn too.
That's the thing.
It's possible.
I'm on your side, Henry.
Thank you.
Yep, it's possible.
Well, he also wanted his men to know that he wasn't going to try and escape their shared fates.
Oh, yeah. And then again, and also, who's the star here, baby?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Gilles was hanged, Gilles was burned, and after he died, his body was removed and laid out by 4 noble ladies of the town who pampered his dead body as it had been pampered in life. He still died a noble.
Oh, yeah. Because and that was his plea deal.
Mm-hmm. As far as the other accomplices went, the magician Prelati was condemned to life in prison because magic was very much illegal.
I mean, it was publicly, people used it and talked about it, but it was still like illegal. It's like weed smoking then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably just want to be killed anyway. Life in prison probably sounds horrible there.
No, it was bad.
Yeah, real
Prison
bad.
was bad, yeah.
But he did manage to escape.
Oh.
But he was later hanged for unrelated crimes.
Never stopping, dog.
He did get to escape, though.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. The priest, Blanchet, he was simply fined and banished from France. And finally, Le Meffray, the Terror, hanged herself in her cell like a Nazi.
Wow. It's also Epstein-y.
Yeah, very Epstein-y. And as it went, Gilles de Rais lived on as a French boogeyman for centuries. The original Bluebeard, as it were, and his castles became dark tourist destinations in the Breton region. As such, in 1992, the Breton Tourist Board commissioned author Gilbert Protu to write a biography on Gilles de Rais to drum up more business.
Yeah, man, come on. We need more pedophile visits.
Yes.
But much to the Tourist Board's surprise, when Protu published his book, he instead made the case that Gilles de Rais was innocent.
Oh,
He was
that's
the first
good for tourism.
He was the first one to come.
Well, Protu is also a famous, how do you put it? He's a mischief maker.
Yes, a provocateur.
He's a
Wow.
provocateur. So they handed him this thing, expecting him to write a little tourist hit, like literally like where we can see all the points of interest of Gilles de Rais. And he was just like, I'm going to kind of hijack this for myself. And I'm going to prove he's innocent. And I'm going to write a book and I'm going to sell it across the world.
Okay.
Apparently, the defense testimonies weren't found in the minutes of the trial.
Mm-hmm.
The page containing Gilles' confessions weren't signed by the presiding judge, and the victim count varied too wildly, from 80 to 800. But as far as that last point goes, there's a reason behind that. It was said to be 80 because his accomplices testified that they had removed 40 bodies from one castle and 40 from another. But it was extrapolated to 800 because of the way the indictment had been written. The indictment said that he had, more or less, for 14 years, every month, every day, every night, took, killed, and cut the throats of children.
Which is not. He was busier than that.
He was.
Well, that's
So
a lot.
he definitely didn't. He wasn't entirely devoted to that. He had to pick tapestries. He was running choreography.
Well, he was doing the
He was
plays,
doing a
yeah.
lot of shit at that time period.
But perhaps the most important fact brought up by Protu was that King Charles VII himself had asked in vain for Gilles' judgment to be revised, just 3 years after the death of Gilles de Rais. On that last point, however, I think it may have been more about rehabilitating Joan of Arc than it was about exonerating Gilles de Rais.
I know. I dug deep into this. So Charles VII did do that, but it was in and out. They fully exonerated Joan of Arc in 1450. It was like in the early 1450s.
Once France was more unified.
So, to be honest, this is my major kickback, is that I feel like they also would have went really far to exonerate anybody that was remotely attached to Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
But instead, they did the opposite, where the real version of canceled someone, which is made sure that they were basically erased from history for a period of time. They just cut them out because they couldn't do it. Because when they went and made Joan of Arc a saint in the 1920s, they also tried to exonerate Gilles de Rais then, and that only lasted for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Because still, 95% of medieval historians, there are the idea of him being innocent is thought about because of these flaws, because these holes in the trial and the coverage of the trial. But 95% of medieval historians still think that he's guilty because of, essentially, it's the Church of the Holy Innocents.
Yeah.
It's like once you make a public molestation university.
Well, he didn't
it's
necessarily, he didn't tell everyone, hey, I'm bringing in kids here and molesting them.
It just, it was obvious. It was very obvious. No one wanted, because somebody would have legitimize it. If it was, I really do believe that. He was too important. He had too much money. More people would have showed up being like, let's make this church legit.
Yeah, and he could have just given the church, here's 1,000 francs.
Yeah,
Like, if
here
I
you go,
can get-
boom,
yeah.
here's your VIG.
Yeah, here's
you
your
can,
VIG.
Yeah, you can have it. You're a part of it, but he
Yeah,
would.
the Catholic Church at this time was not what you'd call fucking ethical.
They were, they've never met, but they've like the idea, but at that time it was at least at that point, at least the ethics were straightforward and you could just buy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of pretending like you needed to worry about your soul and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, soon after publishing his book, Brotteaux hosted a tongue-in-cheek retrial of Gilles de Rais at the Luxembourg Palace in Paris. This is about 1992. And it ultimately acquitted the world's most notorious child murderer as not guilty.
All right.
But while
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Boom.
But while we do certainly respect the people who believe de Rais is innocent in their passion and in their research, we ultimately believe that there was just too much blood pooling around the feet of Gilles de Rais to say that he was nothing more than a victim of political circumstance. He definitely didn't murder 800 children, but considering the number of kids who went missing in his presence, especially at the end, it doesn't seem worth it to rehabilitate the image of a child murderer, whether the number is 1 or 100.
Yeah, because even if you
right.
murder one, everybody gets on your fucking case.
Well, absolutely. Gilles de Rais, there it is.
It is a lot.
A tale of noblemen gone wrong.
But I will say that is, again, it's what I love about history, especially
Yeah.
this time period. I do love that it's about when you're a historian, you're a storyteller.
Yeah.
And what you got to do is you got to look all these different perspectives in the face and wonder and ask yourself, because it's objective
You got
knowledge of these time period even capable. Are we even able? Can we get it? I don't know.
Did
But that's
the time
why, like,
period even exist?
did it even exist? There's a
even
whole
exist. Yeah.
series of thoughts saying that we're 300 years earlier than we're supposed to be.
Boom.
Right? But that's why, like, read into it. Like, I'm fascinated by the pushback because I read it. I was like, we talked about it as we went through the research of like, there is points here, but who knows? You just never know what someone is capable of
Well-
with no sense of decorum and nothing but resources.
I think it's important we trust the legal system.
Yeah.
And he is guilty.
well,
He is a murderer, and
Yes.
at least he is guilty of wasting during a theatrical production,
Yeah.
which comes out of the actor's pocket,
It does.
and it's unfortunate, and he's a horrible person, and he's French. So there we go. So that's it.
He's a horrible person, and he's French. We're fine with France.
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
French.
Yeah, French is cool.
Yeah, they're-
France is cool. We went to France this year. It was cool.
Yeah, honestly, though, I
Yeah.
barely remember. We were only there for like 3 days, and
I
then
know.
I was just mostly like, I felt like I was in the National Lampoon's European Vacation, where
Yeah.
I ran to the Louvre. Like, that's Louvre. We ran over the Eiffel Tower. That's the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
It's tiny, isn't it?
It did feel like that.
The
But they
Eiffel
were
Tower is
Louvre
tiny.
is huge.
It's
Oh, the Louvre.
The Louvre is fucking
massive.
huge.
Is different.
So fucking massive.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much
So
for
good.
listening. Thank you for these. Thank you for the great comments, Gilles de Rais. That is it.
I
9
thanks everyone who
hours
came
of
out-
French history.
Thanks everyone who came out to WonderCon too. We had
Oh,
so
yes.
much fun.
So much fucking
was
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, like it was so cool to go to a fucking con that's like truly
It was
nerd
so
based.
fun.
That
Great
is, like,
costumes.
It's not about celebrities and it's not about stupid bullshit. It's just about having fun and talking about nerdy shit with other
It was
nerdy people
fun.
without, feeling embarrassed about it.
It
It's
was
so
really
cool.
great. So
Yeah,
yes.
cool.
it was just, it felt like a legit con. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it
Like, it
did.
felt like it was so cool to
Well,
meet
you know what I
everybody.
liked? Less police barricades.
Yeah, there really is. Yeah.
There's just so many barricades.
It's just
I'm
so
like,
scary.
they
You go
yell
through
at
it, and I'm
you
like
and it's
scared
like,
at Comic-Con half
Yeah.
the time. But this is nice. It was
That's-
really
it was
fun.
so nice.
Yes. So thank you all so much.
Go to getitmade.la/disasterman to see Kissel and I do a side stories live in
Yes.
support of a little project I'm working on. There's a lot of people
That's
asking
April
questions.
8th?
That's April 8th. If you want to buy alcohol for the show, pay attention to my stupid ass social media. I'm gonna put it
How
up on the
complicated
stories.
is this?
I'm just gonna
This is
put
the
the
most
link.
complicated thing we've talked about in this whole series.
Yes, it is. Just know it's not always gonna be like this.
I will admit, like, one of the most surprising things about moving to California, I've been here for about 4 or 5 months now, is just how fucking incredibly complicated everything is.
I mean, dude,
nothing's easy.
New York is
Other than
very
just-
similar. Besides the fucking, it just don't go to Universal. That's for fucking certain.
Copious
Maybe-
amounts of weed is easier.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's much easier. But yeah, I guess I just got used to the rules of New York City. But yeah, here, this is a baffling town.
Well,
sometimes.
that's not necessarily true, though, because here you can get wine, liquor, and beer in the same store.
Yes,
Which is very nice.
Mhm.
And scratchers. Ooh, scratchers.
Scratchers.
That's next show. We do a
I'm
whole
just-
episode on scratchers.
Just
And
saying
then,
that California healthcare is a labyrinthine nightmare.
Oh, that's different.
that's-
Healthcare
so
is something
you're
else
talking-
entirely.
so,
You're
that's
talking
what
about something serious.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. That was, yeah.
I just get burgers.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you're doing well out there. Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Again.
Magustalations. The times are tough, but honestly, I would rather live now than then.
Oh, hail me, man, because I don't
Yeah.
want to fucking go back.
No.
I don't want to go to 1400s, me, man.
No. Thank y'all.
Bye.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.